Yo, is this thing on? Oh god, I hate the heat. What's up? Oh, it's been a few days. When was the last stream? Oh, last stream actually wasn't that long ago, right? But Age of Empires has been 6 days. Yeah, my bad, guys. It's like, I mean, it's a combo of things, right? It's like there's not much to really stream right now in AoE4. So it kind of makes me want to actually stream other things. But also just, I haven't been feeling very well. Hopefully, that's behind me. I mean, I say that, it's still hot as hell. That isn't going anywhere. Jesus. I got the door open, I got the window open, I've got the fan on. I just pray Frey doesn't come out because I will just try to be like, no, you need to leave. I can't, no more than one occupant in this room. Thank you very much. It's too damn hot. Also, what did we just do to that? Jank it back. What's the temperature there? That's a good question. I actually don't even know. Let's have a look. 29 degrees? Is that accurate or is that speculation? It feels hotter to me. It's like 29, 30 degrees Celsius and then about 40% humidity. Don't ha me. Your ass lives in a desert. There's no humidity. Like, you can't even compare at that point. Like, dude, I remember when I was in Saudi Arabia, I could wear a three-piece suit and just not give a crap, you know? 29 degrees is just winter here? Yeah, but once again, you live in a desert with no humidity. Do you know how easy that is? Yo, like, Carlo, have you ever been to Kuala Lumpur? Go to Kuala Lumpur and then try to flex afterwards. Go there and then, like, get swamp ass. Like, really bad swamp ass. Like, so sticky, so stanky that you're pretty sure your like, great-great-great-great-great-grandpa just flipped in his grave. And then you'll understand. Camel riders? Nah, dude. It still doesn't count, man. Like, you have to go to a literal swamp destination. Like, people who live in 0% humidity just don't get it. Yeah, okay, never mind. That's what I mean, though. It's like, no one ever, like, if you don't have to deal with humidity, you just don't get it. Also, Americans are like, haha, like, British people are pussies. We don't have aircon. All right, our infrastructure didn't build around this idea that every room should have a goddamn fan in it, which, by the way, Middle East does as well. Now start to, like, imagine that. Imagine how hot everything gets when you take away AC and you add in humidity. Welcome to the British way of life. It's not fun. In Alexandria, it's 23 degrees, and I'm guaranteeing they've got aircon, right? Probably a little bit of, you probably got, like, a little bit of humidity there, right? Because you're on the coast. Europe's being attacked by hot weather. Dude, it's like a hostile invasion, I swear. All right. So, fun thing, I actually noticed that there was actually a show match going on the weekend, and I figured we'd check in on it. And oh, wow, well, you look at that. I didn't get rid of this score situation. XT. Let me unload that. Can I even be asked to keep track of score? Probably not. Let's see how it goes, though. All right, one sec. I actually just realized, well, oh, the title doesn't have all caps show match. We need to be like 1,500 times more obnoxious. Boom. There we go. That really, like, just sticks it in people's face like, oh my God, there's a show match, KP. Like, yes, I know, jackass. We're about to cast it. All right, you guys ready? One and all, this is an absolute pleasure. For the first time ever, I don't even know the name of the map. Westlake! Brand new map from the Jin Dynasty expansion with the Jin Dynasty playing, and it is a show match between Volta esports members. Dude, I'm already excited, intrigued. Jin Dynasty is an absolute trash heap, but maybe, just maybe, MSN has cooked up something special. He's going to be in the blue, playing as the brand new Civ. On the other side, Myriad is just being boring. He's gone Ibits. Wow, look at that. He's picked like a top 7 Civ. Woo! I mean, Ibits on this map, though, is a little bit different, right, due to the shoreline fishing. So if you guys haven't seen this map, I feel like this is just almost like, not an exact replica, but it reminds me a lot of the map they released in the House of Lancaster DLC. Do you guys remember? But that one was deep water fish. This one's shoreline. Kind of a cooler concept. I wish there was like more flex, more usage of shoreline and shallows in AoE4 in general for these type of designs. It's a bit sad because, you know, we had that idea of like an 80% map for this and it got exploited very hard. People just built boats. But something I've always admired about AoE2 is they have a nice balance around these kind of maps that utilize water in small abundances. But let's see how this one plays out. Like, look at the spawn. Wait a second. I just realized that is a cursed map. Why is it that small? Holy crap. What is the deer spawns on this? Wait, what? Yo, someone in the office really wants Pro Scouts back, huh? Oh my god. I think someone just like invested in deer mating call whistles and camo. I don't know, dude. This is a lot of deer. That's 42 deer on this map. And double ball. Yeah, so like the shoreline fish is interesting, I guess, in conjunction with all the deer. It kind of gives a balance where like Pro Scouts could be good for certain civs. Especially the way it spawns, actually. Like a lot of the deer packs are really close to your base. I don't know, the north side feels a little bit hollow. Even though there's sacred sites and relics out there, it's like, I don't really care about this anytime soon. Kind of feels like a tug and pull map where you're just going to run down the center of each other making ape noises for like 10 minutes. And then afterwards be like, ooh, damn, I can't really be here. I'm going to have to play flanks now. Still mounted villages not counting as population? They should be. Yeah, see? 5, 3, 1. It's just, remember, when you build mounted villages, those are the... Let's go over this again, because I feel like we're going to have to keep going over this, because, like, no one cares to talk about Jin that much, because they just feel like trash. So Jin Dynasty takes a really long time to produce their villages, but their villages are really effective. So they take 35 seconds per. It's just a little bit over double the cost. It's 100... What was it? 115% or something like that. Basically, for the cost of, like, 2 villages, you would not get this. You have to pay 15 on top of that. But... the trade-off is worth it. These guys give her 120% quicker off of external resources, 90% quicker off of farms, and they build a lot faster as well. They're also a lot harder to kill and a lot faster. Just out of the gate. Like, you're 1.42 move speed versus 1.12. So, in most games, we've been seeing players go, you know, probably between 5 to 9 before they maybe add in other villages. And at that point, it's usually just because you're running out of resources to extend your village account. You just need to start building military. But we are going to get great pastures coming in. Loggy Wing on the other side. I mean, I love how the developers nerf this into the ground so much that it still gets picked every game. It's a civ has so many choices, yet in the end, you only make one. Do you like camels? Well, of course you do, idiot. You picked Iobids. Do you like infinite health? Now, you're about to say no, but you're playing a game where you get infinite food on farms, so I know you're lying. And what's better than not losing your units? Nothing. So that's pretty much 3 boxes ticked, and you go and pick an Iobid with the logic sticks. And then usually you follow up with like industry, military wing reinforcement. I mean, honestly, at this point, Castle Age is a diversity point. Feudal Age is pretty much 90% of games, I feel like, at this point, is loggy. Interesting thing, actually, with these two, by the way, I would heavily favor on paper Myriad. And then I get into this game, and I see we have a gym pick, and I favor him even more. And then I click the sheep button. And I favor him even more. Oh, man. 19 to 11 is harsh. Like, what the hell happened? MSN went fishing, so he shouldn't have needed to bring his sheep back as fast. Not to mention the fact you have literal reindeer, right? Santa Claus is out right now looking for these things. They went missing, and he's angry. So the fact that he lost the sheep game is pretty brutal here. And doesn't... I mean, it's not that it shouldn't be... Iobids doing well on sheep, it's that they shouldn't really do this well on sheep, because remember, Iobids don't have to come back. So extend over to the next pond place. You've got like shoreline. Oh, there's like a cluster down here. I don't know if you saw that straight away. And the Dervish are on the way, but are we gonna get a Desert Raider? We are. Yeah, so the popular play right now is just to add in like just a few Desert Raiders, and the crazy thing is like in this matchup, it feels really good. What does MSN build to deal with Desert Raiders? No, seriously, guys, I need help with this. Like, what can he build? Because you can only really build horsemen if you think about it. If you build your Iron Pagodas, they just suck. They'll lose to Desert Raiders. If you build your Mohe Tribesman, which is your archer, but you get your archer on horseback, it costs more, and it's not DPS effective anyway, so it's not going to do well against Desert Raiders. Desert Raiders will be able to trade quite well with it. So although Desert Raiders are weak to range damage, you need enough range damage to actually do damage through the healing. Yeah, this is... I mean, I want to say this feels like maybe one of the rougher matchups for Jin, but then I want to follow up by saying, is there currently any good matchups for Jin? Like, have any of you seen it? Because I ain't, like, I don't, I'm trying to think which one they like fighting. I guess like an Archer-specific civ. Nah, I was going to say English. That doesn't really work. Yeah, Desiree is just being a nuisance. I mean, he has got a lot of horsemen. The value of this play over here with the Great Pasture, by getting those grasslands up quickly, it does allow you to insta-pump horsemen out at a rapid pacing, right? Which is pretty handy. Like, you can outscale your opponent. But you need to be on point with micro afterwards, and this is hard. Can you guys get it? Oh, wait. Mirage, stop creeping yourself. Ooh. One more strike for glory. Wait, no, he turns around. For the Dervish? I have to double check the math, but I'm pretty sure he had enough damage to kill that Desert Raider if he chased it. And now things are just scrambled. The reveal! He's like, I've got this one Desert Raider. Why are there 4? Oh my god, he should baited him. I think Myriad was hiding the Desert Raiders so that MSN got invested too much. Or rather, invested just enough that it feels bad now, but not too much that he can, like, overwhelm you because he's got lots and lots of horsemen. The archers have +1 range, which negates the Camelonese and Feudal East. Yeah, but your damage is still low for your cost, right? It's really hard to like, scale. Like, yes, you won't lose them, but at the same time. And also, the strat he's playing is out on the map, so he has to be present. I think that's why he didn't even try Tribesmen. Because you have to be able to front your opponent every time. Why do these horsemen have such awesome-looking spears, and there's no difference in damage? Desert Raiders do go -1. The Dervish, the Pathing, Myriad. Uh-oh. Panic alert. He gets the heal off. And that's a disaster! MSN! More like pre-MSN. We're talking dial-up speeds here. What was that? Oh my god, he took the bait. I mean, Myriad, he looked like he was panicking. He was panicking for good reason. Because that Dervish was one hit from being Black Hawk down. Full Somaliland. But instead, now, it is MSN that is heavily down. Health pool's not looking good. Count not looking good. He started to queue up Mohe Tribesman. Not good. Oh, no. And now the production gets camped. He has the right idea. Like, you know, you might as well just try and scurry archers out here really quick. But if Myriad camps it deep, you shouldn't be able to get any more troops out. Like, your production should be stalled, rather. She goes for the burn. You're paying attention? Not really. Okay, sleep at the wheel. That's good. That's good. We don't want to see Jin lose again. Because I'm at the point where I need to start drinking copious amounts of gin. They lose so much. So, for a change, maybe. Archers are trying to poke, but this is what I meant. Like, it's like you were better off just never being born, really. The sad part is I've actually had that said to me once in life before. Anyway, horsemen are rotating. He has the right idea. I think directly fighting doesn't work. And also, he hasn't seen Myriad adding in more Desert Raiders. So the likelihood is that there is a tech play coming. And he's going to try to catch him. But look at the discipline. Myriad. I'm not sure if it is just good strategic placement or a failure to rally forward. But either way, he has got 4 Desert Raiders sitting in his base smoking cigars. And they'll even smoke a horseman. And then on the other side, they'll smoke the water table. And I'm really too eager about saying the word smoke. Here's the thought. Why don't we start pasturing traders? I think that's what's missing, chat. We need to pasture traders. Not in this matchup. That's the most cursed thing, because you'd have to build pagodas, and they're useless. But in other matchups, why has no one tried the trade strat? I'm going to go away and see how these things. So reinforcement wing on the way, because this is what I mean. This has just become like I want to say almost the cheesiest build to do Vibids. You barely lose units, and you just have so many Desert Raiders, so scaling up the Morge makes sense, because if your opponent couldn't counterplay you already, XD, what chances you got in the future? But a good counter assault opportunity here. MSN now zerging the little horseback riders. They can't really reach, but unless Myriad. What? That's a little unhinged. I think he's trying to buy time for the tech up, but I'm not sure if that was entirely necessary. So we'll continue his retreat now. Dervishes should be able to minimize some of the losses. They're at the back of the formation, has to show a bit of respect here. No blacksmiths on either side, actually, which is a little bit odd. Myriad, okay. That is mathematically bad. That is really mathematically bad. Oh, no. These are 180, and these are 90. Sorry, 95. So you have to kill 2 of these to be trading well. He's losing two. Oh, God. All right, we have a game. He is about to tech up soon. MSN, if he can get a good hit on economy, though, game-changing here. He only strikes down, what, 2 workers so far? I don't think that's enough. Because the thing is, there's double stables here, and I imagine Myriad is going to be prepping Camel Lancers anyway. Yeah, he's got 2 more Desert Raiders queued up, which means any resources here and gathered after are a pause, hold, and then invest. Meaning he should be able to get double Camel Lancer queued up straight away. And MSN has 0 answers to Camel Lancers. So he needs to get the hell out of the second age, which seems to be the prerogative now. He stopped producing units. Has anyone actually seen any good strategies at pro level with Jin yet, by the way? I know I'm like the caster and I'm your go-to place for like information and esports and maybe education for some reason. I just ain't seen it. I like the closest I've seen is like 2 TC strats where you go FC, but those just like you don't do anything. Like you basically rely on your opponent just kind of headbutting you like an idiot. And if they tech as well and then take relics, you're kind of in a bad position. Warlord coming in. Relics have started to be retrieved, and that is going to force the reset now. Desert Raid upgrade is on the way. You don't really be hemorrhaging more here, but the villagers are going to be in trouble. That front tree line, a bit of a curse here. Yeah, like Mira's like, what the hell? Why did he get a back tree line? What's this? Continuous dive. MSN's not going to stop. Need to start slowing down, though. Wait. More Desert Raiders? Myriad, you know you have the better camels now. The ones that, like, come with long sticks. Instead of tiny little swords that can't reach things. Funny hats. There we go. He's like, oh, whoa. You mean I can get fancy hats over funny? Deal. Man, that is so dangerous. If we 45 of his economy to the back, if he just realizes. Okay, so MSN has the tech up, but you want to keep pressing now, right? What? The Dragon Pavilion on the enemy side of the map? Nah, go deeper. I mean, he theoretically could have, actually. He could have pulled for the tree line of the gold. But guys, remember, this spawns the Muka defenders. So you get the Menga Muka emplacement on this, as well as your town center at home, which summons cavalry units to defend you when enemies come near. So I've been waiting for people to try and do this, which is basically just drop one practically in your opponent's base. This isn't quite there because the timing wasn't aligned, but if you can get that drop, it's cheesy as all hell because it's kind of like a white power effect. The aggro range is pretty big. Once they get summoned, they'll chase all the way out to like here. And there we go, ringing the bells. The Muka defenders. Mira's like, hold a sec. This is not his base. See what I mean about how far they chase though? Like that's the limit right there. Look at that. I'm fully zoomed out. That is your range. That is great bombard ranges on the emplacement. And okay, it's only 4. It's just when Middle Eastern villagers die, they tend to scream very loud, so it sounds like more. Okay, but good start, necessary. MSN not in the most tragic position possible, as long as these villagers do not die. He has got garrison slots. Okay, only -1 worker, and it's a normal worker, so we didn't care. Relics haven't been banked yet by Myriad. I mean, but okay, here's my problem, chat. Here's my problem. What did you build now if you're MSN? Like, we've got to the 3rd age, and we still have literally the same problem we kind of had in the 2nd, but in the 2nd, you could at least argue that eventually these things scaled enough to beat Desert Raiders. It took a while, but eventually it does. But now I'm like, in the 3rd age, these aren't going to solve Desert Raiders. Your opponent could just build normal archers to destroy you, or he just builds camel lancers. But if he builds camel lancers, you do what? You build spears, so you can build archers. It's like, if you go down the rabbit holes of win conditions, the things that could make sense for Jin is just going to drive Myriad towards archers anyway. And I think that's why MSN, he's just trying to like focus on raiding with these horse archers, just seeing them for what they are, which is just a trashier version of a Rus horse archer, but cheaper. Problem is, when it comes to a direct push, that's where I don't know what MSN's meant to do. Like, we can see he's prepping upgrades on pagodas and horsemen here. I'm not sure why he's prepping vet horsemen. I mean, I know there's desert raiders, but there's also a lot of camel lancers. I don't know, man. He just kind of needs an answer to camel lancers more than anything else in the game right now, actually. Because you can get crossbowmen. Problem is, it's economically a bit hefty, isn't it? Myriad, he's heading to the back corner. Okay, we do have the tributary state up. Now, interesting thing about the tributary state, it's a pile of trash in terms of scaling. It gets like 80% of its value, 85% of its value, just by being set up initially. Like, it can get up to 8 villages, but they only add in about 4 to 6 food, I think it was, per tier. So as long as the tributary state is up and you're tier 1, pretty decent food income. I think something like 80 food a minute. Desiree having a poke at it. I mean, they are getting wiped out slowly by the Mohawk tribesmen. Problem is the camel lancers afterwards is the thing I'm always looking at here. Desiree counter is low, but I mean, that was just always a freebie scaling after a while. And he's queuing up more Mohawk tribesmen, but the camel lancer count after that fight has gone up. I mean, I'm not saying that MSN may need to stop skipping math class, but usually when the number goes up, when the number goes down, that's bad. Now, he has at least got the Muka defenders, which are going to thrive on melee and melee engagements, even if they get the debuff, because it's basically just a free unit. But the problem is the Muka defenders cannot be everywhere! Get out fast. Forget about the guy with the donkeys. Forget about the people without the donkeys, they're gone. How many does he have with the premium? He has 17 premium villages. So it's 34. He's at 49 economy. The numbers don't make sense in my brain there because of the worker kill difference, but sure. But like, it's not as bad as it looks. When you look up and see 3252, it's not exactly accurate because those donkeys are worth a lot. But a lot of those donkeys are now almost dead. Right, down to half HP. I mean, they start off very tanky, yes, but against camel lancers, they will melt. Still just getting shut down on that tributary state. I think it's fair to say that this is pretty much post. I mean, props to MSN, actually. I said, I don't know what you're meant to do against Ibids here. He actually gave a good shout in with the Mohawk tribesman. I do wonder if it would have even been feasible, though, had Myriad been reinvesting in Feudal. Because I think that's where the Desert Raider Dervish combo is damning for Jin. Like, if they just keep investing, you have to out-micro Ibids a lot more to win, I think. Because, like, the only way you're going to reach scale is if the Ibid player is basically gone for a coffee in a toilet break. If they just keep pressing, you're going to get clapped. Because the whole logic is that 2 or 3 Desert Raiders can do a lot more than 2 or 3 Horsemen or 4 or 5 Horsemen. Because they just relentlessly keep hitting you. Because they know there's always going to be healing. But at this point, he's just kind of processing it, right? Like, he's trying to hang in there, but we just saw his food down to 60 food income. Non-existent. What is up, Spirino? Appreciate the sub, bud. That one cam lancer, though. Yeah, I think Myriad has reached the point where he's convinced this is close to over anyway, which is why he's attacking a tier 2 landmark. There's no other reason, right? 2 TC at home, farms as well. If MSN goes for a raid... but there's no time. Lancers forcing the fight, reestablishes the line with the pullback, but Desert Raiders... No, not insta-gibbed. Mohawk tribesman count is non-existent, and that has to be the decisive fight, right? I mean, he's not going to be able to hang out here for food. He's going to lose more workers on the retreat. He's got barely any deer left at the back. The only thing that they stopped this game GGing, and I think this is where people will eventually get frustrated with Jin a bit, by the way, is the Muka Defenders. The Muka Defenders is a little bit obnoxious. It reminds me quite a bit, actually, of like English 2TC White Tower, even when they're really bad, where like if you could just lock them in the game in their base, you do win, but it would take an extra 15 minutes. Kind of reeks of that. Because like if you dive here, remember he's gonna get, was it 3 comes out the TC and then 5 will come out this landmark. I mean, this has been a completely pointless affair in the end. It was a cool idea, but I think the problem for MSN is like because of the shallow waters, like this is where he wanted to drop it between double deer stack, but he couldn't. So this was kind of the best he could come up with in the moment. Lance's just looking in the back again. Trebuchet's on the way. Yeah, and this is what I meant to fight, right? Like, the answer to this, it's... The weird thing with Jin's design and their way of being forced to play like this at the moment is it's very reminiscent of Tuklak double castle builds. You know the ones I'm talking about? Where, like, if you try and dive them and end the game in feudal, you feel like an idiot. You feel like you threw the game. It's exactly like that. So diving these defenses, like I just played through the campaign finally, and I was like, okay, these defenses are stupid. I'm not going to go Rams against them. Rams is like, it's actually just feeding. Building Rams against Muka defenders is feeding. But building Trebs is the easiest win imaginable because they don't summon, right? Because you're over the 11 power range. I mean, it's less than that, right? This is the aggro range. So this is now never going to trigger unless Myriad does that, unless he dives in. Straight in the back. MSN did find, I think, 4 or 5 worker kills there, actually. But it's now 2 TC. He does have a good food injection. The crazy thing is just look at Myriad's macro right now, though. Like, he could go Imperial at this rate. It's not like his army's behind either. Because MSN's just building Mohe tribes. Okay, so whenever we see a cavalry unit in an Age of Empires game, our mentality is like, whoa, that's strong. And there's a lot of them. No, guys, I need you to just imagine an archer icon here. And that's kind of where we're at. It's good for raiding workers, but for a fight, you're basically imagining an archer icon. For a direct fight. Pavilion soon to go down. He has at least got the tributary at the backside that hasn't been harassed anymore, right? I always forget about this. You can actually build the emplacements on it. Not that we're really going to waste 200 stone on the backside of the stage. Cam Lancers. Okay. I think he's worried about, the repair rate, right? He doesn't want to just be stuck here for too long. But Muka defenders are down. Shmoosh defenders. Village are going to have to shuffle to the south side, but it's not going to matter. It's going to be a ripple through, a breakthrough. Raw Mohe tribesmen against almost raw Camel Lancers. And the pavilion is gone. Backside looks like he clapped down a few of the tributary workers again. Important there because that's about like an 1/8 of MSN's food income. And I think Myriad's probably just prepping for a castle drop to end the game. Triple trebuchet into death. No arrow slits to kill spears. Huh? You can also rush that landmark with spears and burn. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, I can see where you come from. But GG gets called. Look at that. We cast Jin again. They lost again. Well, you can't... you cannot accuse the developers of releasing overpowered civs. I'll say that much. It's not pay to win anymore. I don't know. I don't know if that game's even really uploadable to YouTube. I just like that reeked of sadness. An archer that explodes if you miss micro versus spears. True. Oh yeah, like I clicked the ground. No! Isn't Iobid a bastard counter to Jin? Yeah, I was saying this at the start. Like I think Iobid's is one of the worst ones possible. Abbas is less so, I'd say, but Iobid's most definitely. Because like your whole concept, your whole existence is cavalry, right? You're not going to build cavalry against... Well, he did, but you know, you don't feel good about building cavalry against Iobids. Alright, next up we got Socotra. Sengoku versus Golden Horde. That's a bit different. I wouldn't have expected that. Alright, let me mark it up. Yo, this map is too small for the both of us. Someone's going to have to move out, okay? This is like that cramped room you had as a child, sharing with 2 other siblings. You knew there wasn't enough room. Someone simply had to go to university. Is it going to be MSN going back to school, or is it going to be Myriad moving on out? He's a hungry boy. He's one up. He just annihilated Jin. Probably feels like the easiest show match win of his life now if it goes all the way to 5 games. That's the decisive one. Golden Horde versus Sengoku. I'm not going to say it's the easiest in the world, but like... It's really not that far off, right? Like, Japan has huge issues with Golden Horde at the moment, no? And I think Sengoku's similar, but maybe just different enough that they have answers. Let's find out. Because, folks, Myriad in the yellow with the Golden Horde going to be loving a map like this. Golden Horde is all about aggro, all about pushing, and when you put people on a map this small, that has to feel advantageous. Even more so when you're playing against a greedy-ass Civ in the Dark Age. Like, Sengoku players don't really play the game aggressively early on. They're all about getting their munchies on, right? By getting their little hot dog stands out. And you can already see the first one coming out. Makes sense as well on this map. Like on Socotra, you've got all these clustered resources like, oh my dear God, what? It's like bronze level housing at the edge of the map, but with berries. What? I don't think I've ever seen them spawn so orderly, except this one. This one's the rebel. Is anyone else's toes curl like, oh yeah, that's the Sim City I need right there. Just think of the houses as well, chat. Like, as you place your houses, they'll be beautifully lined up. And then you can place farms around them without any chaos, like a normal farm. Oh, God. Yeah, no, I'm sold. So it's going to be a Pumba pull. I'm a little bit surprised they didn't remove this with the recent patch. Those that don't know, basically, the problem with the pig is when he sees the hot dog stand that's full of its brothers, its offspring, whatever else, that have been turned into giant hot dogs. It gets a little bit freaked out. It basically gets full on like deer in headlights, ironically. And then it pacifies the boar. So as long as it ties in range, the boar won't react. So MSN takes full advantage of that to shuffle out early. Myriad, on the other hand, is just going for attack. So this is a big edge, actually. I didn't think about that detail because it's like, I think I got used to seeing it. And then we talk about the boar a lot on this map. But in this matchup, because neither of these civs build things like spears early on, you don't really think of the boar outside of that detail. Usually when you think of Socotra, you're like, boar. Is it a Muslim civ? Is it a Dark Aging civ? And those are the two things that usually define who gets boar control. Third variable that rarely comes up, because it's specific to like one or two civs, is do they have a building play in the feudal age, like China, for example, where they can build Barbican or Rosh outposts. So Khan and Tortugud going to be on the way. I think the cool thing about this for MSN as well is like you don't have any low HP workers, so you can be a bit more greedy, hang around here a bit longer, even though you know your opponent should be going for military units straight away. In fact, the moment he hears the tech up, he'll probably wait 10 seconds and start walking away, just because of the Khan spawn time. Khan only takes 20 seconds to come out, and he's horseback, so he'll get there fast. You love Age of Empires? Prove it. Get it tattooed on your ass. Like what you need to, so what you do, you just get an A on one cheek and an E on the other, and you save some ink. All right, anyway, Koka Township now coming in, so no Ryokan. I guess I'm not too surprised. Like a map this small, how are you going to get healing? Because remember, the way Ryokan works, you have to be out of combat. It takes a long time to like kick into that healing. Mira seems to be sneaking out towards Deerplay now. Yeah, he's already been shoving them in. So MSN, you can try to like aggro them the other way. But this is one of the nice things when you get that initial little tiny shove in. It takes like roughly on average 20 seconds to reset. So it's very hard for your opponent to be a dirty little briefer. I wonder, are we getting probably Yari Cavalry opening from Sengoku? Seems the most likely. You could think about Yumi, but Yumi's like step one on the route to why Japan hates this matchup so much. Because the problem with Yumi is the Tortugud heavy cavalry of Golden Horde are heavy. They're a heifer, right? They're a big boy. They're that rhino that you hit with like 5 trank darts and it's still coming at you. And he will be setting up the fortified outpost, so... Racks! Okay, so yeah, we're going different then. So full infantry comp. I say different, like, is it that different? I think I've seen a lot of people theorycraft the idea of just doing Yari, because they also, like, Yari will counter the Golden Horde's archers, but it'll also get a little bit of damage against the heavy cav. But they are very expensive, and it's a very small map. So he's just going cheap and fat as fast as possible. I do wonder if Hanabo Samurai is ever... Nah, I'm not going to finish that statement. They're not. Ninjas are just going to come out to play. Shiv's out moment as well. Nicely played. But the villagers going down regardless. Gets the kill. And he will be able to just shimmy on out. Nicely played. Yeah, the quick wall, not really achieving everything it was meant to there for MSN. -1 worker. This map is not for Fast Castle. Weirdly enough, we've actually seen some players Fast Castle on this map for great success. There's certain civs that can get away with it. Ibids is a great example historically of that. They just kind of don't care. Like, actually, this is one of those maps where Ibids can do Golem strats. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's a less used unit in AoE 4 right now than Kanabo Samurai. Because I just played the Jin Dynasty campaign, and in that campaign, I actually had to build a siege tower once. So that means I've built one more siege tower than I've built Kanabo Samurai in 2026. So, I need someone to start making them work, man. I mean, the math should be good, right? Is it 3 base damage, 6% of max health? So... God, I got 6% such a weird number. Actually, it's not. It's easy. It's 15. So, what, 18 damage before reduction? So you'd be hitting a Tortugud for 15 damage with the club. And you're very tanky because you're a heavy unit yourself, right? So you do 18 damage, but the alternative is you could build a Spearman. You see the problem here, don't you? Because the Spearman does 28 damage. So, similar DPS, but... although Kanabo is a bit more tanky, he's also a lot more expensive. That's 160 versus 80. You're paying double the price. It just doesn't make sense. Like, there is maybe an argument that Kanabo Samurai could make sense against archers because they're tankier. But if I remember correctly, Kanabo Samurai was a 1 ranged armor, 2 melee armor unit. They still die. Quite easily, actually, for cost against archer. So basically, we need to nerf archers. And if you needed any more proof, look at the fact that MSN has already lost 2 valuable workers. This unstoppable horde. Is that dramatic enough? Only good versus elephants? Yeah, and that's stupid because like they keep buffing spearmen, so spearmen are going to keep getting better against elephants anyway. I don't know. I think Kanabo Samurai, of all the units that have been introduced in a long time, annoy me the most because I saw them. I heard the animation noises. I was like, this is cool. This is the coolest unit. This is my favorite unit. And it is by far the crappiest unit in the game. How long has Sengoku been out now? And they have not been used once in pro play. In a serious tournament, Kanabo Samurai have not been used once. It's sad. So, how are we looking on this game right now? I'd say pretty rough for MSM. He's only playing 1 hot dog stand. He's already lost 2 villages. And he's relying on Yuumi, which is always bad. So the problem with Yuumi, you're seeing them right here. These little stretcher boys, because they stretch out when they die. The Karash provide +1 aura to everyone nearby on armor. And Yuumi already are low DPS. So they just tickle at that point. Like, in a raw archer on archer trade, it becomes very hard for Yuumi to win. Even more so when, for some reason, you're outnumbered. But the reason he's outnumbered is 10 spearmen. That's the number. Myriad has forced 10 spearmen reaction because of the Tortugud, which he's getting passively, pretty much, because of the stone. Right? Like, I say pretty much because you do have to spend some food, but 120 food isn't the problem. It's usually stone that's the whole back. Now... it's going to be a spawnless Shinobi, but you have to get in range to utilize this, which is really happening right now. Yeah, I mean, he's not really scary. I mean, we've seen MSN. He looks like a bit of a twig. It doesn't scream big biceps, right? And he's not screaming that right now in this game. This tower is exactly the same. It's like, look at me. Actually, no, the tower's different. The tower is hulked up, like, look at me. I'm scary. And then you realize the guy actually, like, gets out of breath when he takes 5 steps. He might be big, but he hasn't got maneuverability. So this threat, the only threat, doesn't really exist. I think Golden Horde is a bit strong at the moment. It's interesting because, like, they look good but not overpowered. And then they got nerfed, and then they started winning even more. But it seems the devs were onto something. I think the problem just keeps coming back to Tortugud. But it's also empowered by the fact that a lot of the design choices of late, there was a period where I felt like we were doing more to make feudal presence more rewarding. And I think recently we're kind of dialing it back a bit and thinking about things like Fast Castle 2TC again. And that's where Golden Horde laughs. Golden Horde loves that you do that. It's also, like, not their fault. You actually can't really nerf Golden Horde more in this department without buffing them elsewhere. Because the castle transition sucks if their feudal age isn't strong. Knock-on effect, right? Like, if we start the fight with me breaking your legs, I have got a high chance of beating you later on when we're handed cards, you know? Like, come on. So I agree. Like, this needs to probably be readjusted, but they need a more reasonable approach to transitioning to H3. Yeah. Golden Horde. If you're struggling with Sengoku or Japan, this is an easy civ to learn, I'd say. You know, it's more aggressive than Mongols even these days, actually. I think the only way you fumble when you play this strat, like, you know, on your average level experience, and we're of course equating, like, you kind of know how to micro and macro or whatever, is if you don't pay attention to your cavalry and they go in alone. And the only other point of, like, contention with this build is, did you remember to add in Karash, dum-dum? And if you didn't, whoopsie, right? Like, as long as you do those two things, you keep scaling towards, like, 15, 18 minutes, you're underneath the enemy TC. Sooner if they actually choose to tech, which is what MSN's about to do. Sake Brewery too. I mean, he wasn't really going to go for the Iko Iki bombs, but, like, I'm not sure how he's meant to hold this. Myriad's about to have 10 Tortugud, most of them full HP. That's a snorkel zone, we're going in, boys moment. Double outpost is a cool idea, actually. MSN does have enough... almost has enough stone for double springle. That could actually be a game changer. Problem is, Myriad is also preparing to age up as well. Yeah, which means he doesn't need to win the game with a dive. He just needs to build an even bigger lead. That frontside Sake Brewery. You can idle this out for so long with Tortugud. Like, you don't really need to dive the archers in. That's a bit careless. But if you just camp them on the edge and keep sending the Tortugud in, your opponent shouldn't really be able to touch the landmark. But wow. Okay, he's like, wait, you're that weak? Let me just come on in. Okay, so I guess... Is he thinking about Ashigaru? Because he's got gold access, and they're 50-50 gold food. So I don't mind the idea of Ashigaru as his one way out. Because he only has gold access here. Like, that's kind of it. Food's limited. Wood access is limited. Build the Ashigaru. Do it. Do it now. Do it now. W for the win. Come on. Now, the problem here, guys, is MSN is only a child, so he's not allowed to handle the firearm. So he might not realize that Ashigaru is his best friend. He goes for the Yumi upgrade. Yeah, wait like 5 seconds. I thought he'd just be dead. Nah, the problem is, like, I get why he's upgrading the Yumi, but this just means he still has no answer to heavy cav. And Musky Yasak is going to make sure that you suck on these Ashigaru. By the way, just to clarify, actually, I keep forgetting. When I said Ashigaru, I meant Gunner Ashigaru. So I want him to build the Tanegashima, not the Yumi. Because the Gunners are basically crossbowmen. Like, is he likely to lose them? Probably, because it's for, like, archers. But if you play, maybe if you play, like, some garrison shuffles, you can snipe down if you get the cav. The only other way is, like, he could have tried to play knights, but with what food income? This looks so over. It's because it is. I mean, like, what do you do here? This is like Depression Central. All those beautiful berries, the most orderly of berries, and he cannot even lick them. He also doesn't have enough room to get all of his mats out because he never ate them. Oh, thank you, guy. Glad you enjoy the streams, bud. I'm surprised you can watch this while eating your lunch, because to me, this is sickening. Ugh. Oh, hold on a sec. He killed one. And then, wait, Mira's like, well, it's only 4 spearmen. Yeah, but, like, why take the fight, right? Just wait 15 more seconds and then get Castlation. So, yeah, Yumi Veterancy did save him. He has got the Daimyo coming. Problem with the Daimyo is mathematically terrible with range. So, Yumi Bannerman compared to the Daimyo, much, much better as Yumi Bannerman. Because the Daimyo, although it buffs the attack speed of all your units, ranged units have this kind of internal animation that stifles a lot of the attack speed buff value compared to Melee, right? Like, Melee just has a rule, if your attack speed, you're getting fully juiced. I remember, like, Anatand, he played, like, a game on the test server when they were bringing the Civ out. And then he realized it and then molded about the stats. Because I think it was like he was mapping out, instead of him getting like 15%, it was more like 5% attack speed on you. Oh, and the men at arms. So this is what I mean. Like, so although the Yumi game is state of execution, right? They don't answer the Tortugud still. And Myriad has now been like, okay, so if you haven't answered Tortugud, that means you haven't answered both cavalry or heavily armored units. That gives me 2 options. And what's the cheaper of the 2? On a map this small, you go men at arms. On a bigger map, you would have went for like knights, potentially, because of your flank rotations. But I reckon still men at arms here simply because Golden Horde's option would have been Keshiks. And then if your opponent isn't spreading out, Keshik's going to feel a bit weak for a frontal engagement compared to men at arms. POV was so random with his buff. Yeah, like that was the perfect example where Tower Victory until the most recent patches was averaging like a 5% attack speed increase with range units. England has been the worst one. It's crazy to me it's still been a thing all these years because it has existed since the beginning. Like, English in particular was terrible for this, where I think at one stage it was only spearmen that were getting the full percentage increase attack. Here we go. Boys moving in. Anything tagged heavy gets the +2 armor. And that is a deep taste of sadness. MSN in the best of 5. About to get speed around to the finish line because one more game and it is a Myriad dub. And honestly, I haven't really seen much to suggest anything other. I mean, I don't think it even gets to the point of like skill outplay. It's so far just been a complete draft outplay. Golden Horde. Going for that gold. Didn't need to dive in feudal. When he did dive it, the difference was felt all around the world. If you're already white, why use filters to look more white? I don't. It's just called having lighting. You know? Some of us don't like I know a lot of us like to be vibing the idea of being you know, basement dwelling gamers. But, you know, if you're going to do broadcast or whatever, you have some lighting. So I've got a light there and a light there that illuminate. Yeah, I don't think I've even got them up that high. See? See, look how shiny my head is from the lights. Dude, if you look too close, I'm going to flashbang you just by, like, using my forehead to, like, beam light into your eyes. Got him. All right, dude, wait. He gets to play Jin again? His ass just lost with Jin. All right, I don't care. We're doing it again. Tuglak versus Jin. You know you're Casper the Ghost, but that, like, what? Are you trying to say that I'm, like, super pale? Dude, I've even got some red going. I don't know what you mean. I don't think I'm like that lit up. Let's have a look. White balance is at 4100, which is actually quite, well, not super duper low, but fairly low. Yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, dude. God forbid someone forget me for a different color. It's the color, the shirt and the chair. Yeah, probably, actually. That's a fair point. All right. Should we get ready to go? I got something special. I've been waiting for this. What's that? Today, we right a wrong. This is incredible. For the first time ever, in a professional tournament, or show match in this case, the Snakey map comes out. In fact, I think, yeah, Snake River. This was such a cool looking map. The S map has been added into Pro Play, ladies and gentlemen. We're seeing it firsthand, first time here, MSN as the Tuglak Dynasty in the blue, and Myriad, who just crushed the Jin Dynasty, is now looking to stir up his own Gin and Tonic here in the green as the brand new Civ. This is a cool map. So, if you haven't gathered it from the name of the map, Snake River, it goes all the way around, snaking all the way behind each other's bases here. Fishing is very limited. It is only the central spot, and it is barely any, to be honest with you. So before anyone rolls their eyes and says fishing, blah, 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 it's not designed that way. But it does offer up these cool opportunities to maybe play 1 or 2 boats into fights strategically. And although I know someone's probably rolling their eyes right now, the calm down moment I give you is that it's not broken in that if someone is going for boats, they aren't doing it to get economy as well. So it's a very heavy investment that might not pay off because a lot of the map isn't going to be this waterfront. So yeah, in terms of like starting spawns as well, you get deer basically on the edge of TC range, goldstone standard. Only a single tree line is a little bit rough of this map though. I imagine the meta is going to become securing the corner fairly fast, and certain civs like Abbasids, Iabids are going to get a lot of value as well because the berries out here, as well as the shape, allows you to kind of defensively configure quite easily. And then we also have boars around the center type areas, relics fairly evenly distributed in kind of 360 motion. But yeah, the interesting part to me actually is like not just the fishing, it's not just the potential slight water play strategies. It's the fact that like distance-wise, you're really not that far off. Yeah, so more rush-oriented strats could have value here. But MSN, let's see what he's going to be up to. He's going for the Tower of Victory build, and So I was saying something that I found quite funny, actually, about this matchup on the other side, is when we saw Jin last, the only strategy that worked is quite obnoxious and reminiscent of this really tedious strat right now from Tuklak, which is double fort. And what's tedious about it is that you can't really feudal it, you have to castle them. I.e., they build their castles up, you go castle age and get trebuchets to destroy it. Both of these civs are that obnoxious. And both of them are leaning on that greed. Myriad already moving out of the stone. These are better gatherers, remember. The amount of villages, basically it's like having 4 villages on stone right now. And Flower Pagoda with 1 for efficiency. Flower Pagoda, remember, it has 2 uses. It can either be used to buff the gathering rate of villages in a small AoE, or it can be used to buff the attack speed of units in a small AoE. Yeah, I'm fast-forwarding because we know what this is going to be, right? Would KT be viable on this map? Good question. Yes, I would say so. For the sacred sites more than anything else, the spread is really nice. I wouldn't really focus on the water if you're thinking about KT that way. But like the idea of like getting this tree line is kind of sick because if you get this type of spawn, you could walk here, wall yourself in, and have a tree line for a long time in the mid game. See, I could see Knights Templar being decent here. Like 2 TC as well. The idea of walking down here and setting up a TC in this corner is kind of crazy. So wait, MSN didn't go for the castle straight away with the TC. Yeah, I guess he saw that Myriad was doing 2 TC and he thought he could get away with the extra greed. Myriad hasn't used the flower part. There we go. Look at the area, man. So easy to get max value. He could have dropped it a little bit closer, right? No, because buildings block it, so you had to be like this. So he's getting a bit of inefficiency over here. What's with the bags everywhere, actually? Just noticed that. Did they always drop bags when they're working? I just didn't notice before. No, it's just something weird about the TC. Yeah, looking at the worker count right now, you're probably tempted to say MSN is a mile ahead. But guys, remember, chill. Tuklak are that far ahead because Miro takes 35 seconds to produce a villager. He's almost capped out his amount of villagers. And that's important because if you look at the count from that perspective, it's not, you know, oh my god, he's 16 versus 30. It's actually more like 34 to 31. Because Myriad has only this entire game been building mounted villages. I don't know, man. I haven't seen people do that so far. Even on 2TC, I quite often see them building a few normal villages in there for whatever reason. But Myriad has just gone raw pure breed here. He will have to start building normal villages soon. He's about to cap out. The cap is 20. There is a way to get more via a landmark. And I imagine he's going to be going for that, which is the Dragon Pavilion. The Dragon Pavilion allows you to increase your amount of villager count by 3. But it also, and there it goes, getting dropped now. It allows you to summon defenders out of your town centers. It's good, 75% more build time for 120% faster. Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying a lot of players actually haven't been prioritizing 20 out of 20 straight away. They've been adding in like normal villages for different reasons. I imagine it makes sense to add normal villages in when you think you're going to get attacked. And if you aren't going to get attacked, then you just raw build the best villages. Because the logic is like, if someone's building a few knights, I'd rather have a few normie villages to insulate my greed. So like, if I get dove, I'll throw the normal villagers at him. You know, it's like if we were in a zombie apocalypse and we had to group up with people and like a scrawny post like, can I be part of your group? You say yes, and here's the reason why. When push comes to shove, you literally push and shove them over. The zombies will grab them, they'll eat them. You'll buy yourself about an extra 5 seconds of runtime before they realize what's happened. You know? Always keep the skinny one close. And yeah, Dragon Pavilion, he was dropping it on the defensive side, gets more aggressive, and the range is going to be interesting. If MSN... No! The grassland post! He sees that, right? So he knows. Because otherwise, what could have happened here is, oh, Tuklak, I want to gather berries. That's good. Walks over here and gets gang bushed by 5 defenders. That's going to be like -3 workers. Still, this is weird, right? Like, did he only went 1-4. 1-4 into castle. He did max it out, but he hasn't maxed out the houses is the weird part. Actually, sorry, no, he didn't max out. It's just tier 2. Yeah, this was a lot weaker, no? I mean, I guess you have infinite food compared to your opponent who does not. But I prefer Myriad's position 100%. And we have got the emissary working hard. He doesn't set up the defensive trade post. He goes to the enemy side. So remember, this guy, for free, can build a tributary state. You see the effects of it there. You get increased gold from trading. Not really going to matter. The +3 villages is going to be the important part, which he already got another +3 from the pavilion, right? Or did I... Oh, no, I'm an idiot. It's not from that. It's just from there. Yeah. So he can go up to 26 amount of villages by capping both these trade posts. And the cost to do so is 0. You walk over, you click it. There's no cost associated with building these. And then you'll get some food from it existing. You get, I think it's 80 food tier 1, and it tiers up 8 times for free passively. That adds in about another 20 food roughly overall. So basically, if you're fully set up on these, the trade post will generate about 100 food a minute. Or just walking a guy over there. And the Mooka defenders. I like MSN's idea. So the concept here, he did do it. He went for the training. There's a tech for the Tuklak that lets you produce spearmen drastically faster, but also buff their damage against cavalry. There, it's Neza training. So you get 35% more bonus damage, and you produce, I think it's like 50% quicker. Just zergs out spears. It's actually one of the most effective types of strategies for Tuklak rushing castle like this. Looks like he's playing for relics now. Myriad has already prepped for that, though. Yeah, he should be ahead of his timing. Double rack's getting set up. I wonder if it is just going to be spear on spear. Because down the line, Jin do get some useful techs around their spearmen anyway. Yeah, like you could even go for Storm Lancers to get some shots. Chat, have they fixed ranged attacks being like AoE yet on that? I don't think they have, right? Storm Lancers are still not slash. So it's not that good. It's okay, but not crazy. I wouldn't mind seeing a game where Tower Shields gets used, because it is, in theory, a really cool like strategy, right? +3 ranged armor. But in a lot of ways, it kind of feels like a worse version of English armor clad. And wait. The Mao villagers fight back. Myriad needs to micro one of them away. Yep, pulls them off just in time there. Oh, no, he's going to give chase? Guys, that's bad. Look at the difference in movement speed. You can't catch Mount of villages. Wait, no. Myriad. Just stay really still. He's in green. No! He saw through the camouflage! Oh, he was waiting for the guy to heal, maybe? I don't know. I think what happened there is that green camouflage was so effective that it worked on the owner. That's what we'll call that one. Monk on the other flank. Picks up a relic. So they're fairly even on the split so far. An outpost will secure the area. Nice idea there. You build them insanely quick with these villages. Yeah, because they build, what was it, 75% quicker? I think it was 75. I remember he's got a lot of them now. He can build up to 26. So Myriad is prepping the spear upgrades, but it also looks like he's going fast to Imp. And MSN is not? No, he's building Raider Elephants. Wait, doesn't his entire strategy fall apart to just spearmen, though? Raider Elephant Crossbow loses to mass spears. It's like Myriad has basically got what he needs. Still, it gives MSN a way of attacking into buildings because he'll be able to deal with the Mooka defenders with crossbows, and he'll have the Raider Elephants to siege down the building. What map is this? This is Snake River, I think we said it was called. Okay, Trample is usually really scary, guys, but 85 HP, lol. Which he can get textiles for as well. Oh, that's sick, actually. Wait. Did he? Where did he build? I'm trying to figure out where he built the fishing. Oh, no, I'm an idiot. There's a tributary fisherman. I thought I saw fishermen queued up in the UI earlier. I'm just getting baited. These are, it's just the tributaries, the automated things. They do look cute, though. And guys, I love this landmark. I hated this landmark in the campaign. I may have lost a lot of army. Pagoda Forest has a few different things going for it. So one big thing is this, the Spiritual Awakening. It allows you to wallow on the building. The other thing it does, though, is it spawns these little forests which have certain effects. See right there? It slows nearby enemies. So pretty effective for that. And it also generates wood. You can see by the full tooltip, so it's 20 wood every 30 seconds. So 40 wood a minute. Not too bad, actually. And I think it goes up... Yeah, 15. Actually, 15 is insane. I remember reading this landmark when it first came out, and I was like, mathematically, that's nuts in terms of how you get in late game, right? Because you're going to be generating, I think 600 wood passively in the late game. And, you know, if you go deep enough in a game, you can trade to get gold. You get food from farms forever. Wood is the thing that will eventually kill a game. Is that eventually there's just no trees left. So in 2-hour-plus long games, Jin does have an interesting advantage. The problem is, a 2-hour-plus game is like one of the rarest things these days. I don't remember the last time I saw a pro game that went 2 hours. Push across here, and he goes straight into the Zanma swordsman. Guys, these are heavily padded men-at-arms. They do specifically get bonus against Cav too. But 20 base damage, 5 armor, 250 HP. And also just the bonus against Cav when your opponent is built into Raider Elephants. And these guys will still beat Spearmen. The only problem right now is, like, how do you deal with crossbowmen? That's the one thing I don't like about Myriad's strat right now, is he hasn't solved that threat. Now they just have to reach 2 hours into a game without dying. It's easy. You just have to bait your opponent to dive the pagoda, and then you wall their army, and then you have an army again after you keep losing, and then they have an army again, and then you just keep clashing and resetting, and eventually you win because, like, you know, you reach the 2 hour mark because they keep wall feeding armies. They have to kill your landmarks to win the game. And everyone knows that trebuchets are a myth. Ignore these. Yeah, actually, Jin does feel like a noob trap civ. I feel like Jin is the type of civ that over time, like, if it wasn't for how much we focus on pro play, there'd be Redditors moaning about them being OP because they keep trying to dive the defenses and getting killed by free cavalry units. And then they keep trying to melee dive the pagoda and then walling their army, right? But, like, if you just calm down and build trebuchets, you win the game. I just print free horses from your grasslands to deal with expos? Not free. You mean, like, insta print them, right? As in get them coming out faster. I don't think, has he built any grasslands at all? He hasn't, right? No, we haven't got any grasslands. But, like, yeah, but basically it gets them cheaper and gets them out a lot faster, right? But I don't think that idea works that well unless you take every landmark that gives grasslands. That idea works a lot better for, like, Iron Pagoda strats because they're a lot more expensive and individually more effective. It's going to be a pullback here. MSN, remember, he's still an age behind, so he's pushing for the kill. Myriad, he has his answer. It's going to be Nest of Thieves. How could we forget about the classic? Trample, very effective against normal villagers. I don't think it's very good against mountain thieves. Instant units aren't that good. 25 food discount, but you lose your max HP. Yeah. Like, it's nice when you need to start from zero army. It's terrible when you have scale, because, like, think about it this way. If I've got 100 horseback units, I'm now losing 100 health off, like combo, right? Or more. You know, for each one I spawn. So how many are we up to now? 7? Dude, it's the way they spread as well. It's actually so annoying for 2 reasons, right? Like, it's annoying because me as the guy who built this, how do I choose where they go? But also the other idea is, like, when you try to rush through this area, everything's going to get slowed down. Pagoda is about to get sniped, though. Does every landmark? No, not every landmark gives grassland. Only certain ones, right? Like this one. Oh, wait, no, this one did, didn't it? I don't think this one did, though, if I'm correctly. Am I wrong on that? Is Pagoda not the exception? Maybe I'm wrong, actually. Pagoda. Oh, no, Pagoda does. It's just weird. Its spawn points are weird, right? Because of the trees. Yeah, so every landmark does. So basically, you can get, was it 9 grasslands maximum by late game? Okay, I learned something. For some reason, I thought Pagoda was the exception. It does actually say there. They do need to add tool options to manually play both of these things, though. Yeah, I don't think he's built a single one. Still. He just doesn't care. Oh, yeah, sorry. 1 per and 3 locations. I keep getting that muddled up. So you get, what's the increase? You get a maximum increase on your cavalry of 5 every, and it goes up to, was it 5 in each one? So 25. Do you get extra? Wait, is that right? How many cavalries in each grassland? I can't remember if it's 3 or 5. This is where I wish you build one so I could have the easy proof. And ooh! Yeah, the problem is Zanmar's going to clear that up. 5. Yeah, so you can get 75 extra health? That can't be right. My brain... When I say that out loud, that sounds wrong. No, sorry, it's 2. 75. That's why I'm thinking it wrong. So it's 5. You end up getting 15 times 2. So 30 extra health on your melee. That's right. Yep, max 40? Wait, why is it 40? Oh, because it's tier 1, yeah. I'm having one of those days. Look, this is where I just need a fight to happen. 40th Grand Pasture. True, true. It's because we haven't got it this game, right? Because most games are currently Grand Pasture, but in this game, he did choose Flower Pagoda, which could be sick for a big fight, actually. If you can get stationary fight, Zanmar are gonna... They're gonna be full freaking Anakin end of episode 3 mode. Well, not quite end of episode, just before the hands thing. Trip Sacred Site, though, kind of looking like Jin's gonna get an L, actually, for once. Mirrored is switching spears, which I've been waiting for. We also do have lightweight frames coming in, so he's getting the extra movement speed on his siege. Double castle north side. Got a lot of options now, right? We've got the buff coming in towards the cavalry. He has got the increased effect from the gold on sacred sites and relics. Extra castle coming in. This one's probably going to be spawning the 3 units. And Mirror is 2 landmarks down, but he has got cannons coming in now. I think just... Well, I was about to say more Nest of Bees. 5 is good enough, right? Ooh. Would it be worth him getting Porcupine Defense? 10 million damage back to attackers against Raider Elephants? It's not really a game changer, is it? It does make them look so stupid, though. I want to know when we're getting Pili Pili Pow. Because Pili Pili Pow actually does add a Nest of Bees effect to the trebuchets. And he has got to get through castles. But I think because he's got 50 of these back, he just doesn't care. He's like, the way through castles is to burn it all down. Sigma map? No, this is Snake River. Snakes. Superman map. Added with DLC. Finally using competitive. Wow. All right, here we go. Siege begins. MSM with the step up, but the bees, buddy. The bee. Wait, he doesn't see them. He doesn't see them. Oh, no, 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 no. Whoa, whoa. He knows about them now. I think he knows about them now. And I think Myriad knows they're not counted. More Raider Elephants get queued. We've got Storm Lancers coming in. Oh, no, that's the Porcupine. I was about to say, he should already have Storm Lancers. I know people are like unhappy with this Civ for multiple reasons, right? Like, oh my god, it's like a variant Civ, but it is. And oh my god, it's not very good. But visually, I think the devs deserve a lot of credit there. Like the structure design, the unit design, even the fact the Spearman looks so different. Like they actually cooked well in that way. Like I think they've done a good job, and they deserve praise for that. You hate that all the buildings are so huge. Yeah, there's definitely like other things that are problematic and like the choices made, the bugs, etc. But like, I do like that they at least put real effort in, and it doesn't just feel like a copy and paste. And this is a bit butchered. Myriad, not really pulling the workers away at all, especially on the front though. Don't know why it's a variant. Yeah, like I was shocked when I opened the menu and saw they put it under variant. I was like, I wouldn't really have dubbed them variant at all. They're unique enough. They are their own Civ. Artistic design breaks the current one of AoE4. How? What do you mean? What? Like, how many mountain villages was that going down? Was that all of them? That was close to all, right? Oh, no. It's fine. He lost, like, six, and a few normal villages. So he's fine. Yeah, people like chat is like, this is huge. He's still got 17 mountain villages. He's fine. The problem for MSN is he's kind of just one-dimensional now. Like, he needs a lot more Raider Elephants to deal with the Nest of Beast threat. My concern is actually Myriad could just do Nest of Beast Spears to win. I think MSN probably needs to go for... Oh no, I know what he needs. He can't build it. Chat, if I say that he needs the crappiest unit Tuklak has, what unit do you say? He needs a unit that is just like never built because it's not worth it. The only upside is they're kind of tanky. He needs Springwood Elephants. And they're bad. Really bad. They take up too much space. They cost too much per unit for their DPS. The only upside with Springwood Elephants is like they don't die as quickly or as easily as Springwoods. But when you need to scale count, like that's not the problem here, right? And then there's the pop space. 4 population for this stupid thing. And you'd just rather have more Springwoods. Because, like, think about it. Right now, his opponent has 100 units that get countered by mass Springwoods. He just has no way of getting them. I mean, the time needed, the pop space, all of it just feels a bit cursed. And I imagine MSN, like, right now, part of it is he's in instinctual muscle memory mode. No one has the muscle memory of building into Springwood strats with Tuklak. They just don't do it. And here we go. A clicks in, goes to the trample to try and bypass, but against mass spears and Zanmar. Both units countering cavalry, by the way. That's going to be cooked. Nest of Bees just need to actually be target fired onto the crossbows, and he's good to go. Right now, he's wasting a lot of fire onto the elephants. New wave of Raider Elephants trying to come out, but I'm more concerned about the crossbow count in this fight. There's going to be barely any left. Has to get too up and close and personal against all this. Reset coming in from Myriad, pulls the army back, just so that the siege can catch up. And I think we just got ourselves a 3-0 here, boyos. Springles are what, 2 or 3 normally? Try and come with double check me on. I think they were 2, no? Easy way to check, so I think bed crossbows are the same. Yeah, 2. Because they're meant to be the double Springwood effectivity, but it doesn't really work that way. And also they cost a lot. They're 650 resources each. Yeah, Springwood Elephants have a lot of problems. And he just, like, couldn't build them in this game. I mean, you can't really build them in any game. Damn. Nest of Bees back on the menu, boys and girls. Whoop. Porcupine Nest of Bees at that. Look at these. This is so stupid. How do we stop them from destroying our siege? What if we just duct tape spears to them? I like how they even just make sure it's the gunpowder spears. Just in case we run out of gunpowder on Nest of Bees, still have equipment, you know? Alright, push in here. Bombard, sieging into the main base. So many farms in the back. Like, I mean, you know, no granaries, right? That's another weird thing to me is like, how is this a Chinese Civ? They don't have granaries. You know what's weirder? I just played the campaign of Jin, and it's so confusing because it doesn't really teach you how to play China or Jin because it combines both of them. So like, if you're learning the game for the first time, it doesn't actually help you with either Civ because if you cave into this, you're like, where are my tactics? I'm confused. Backstab, radar flints. I mean, Nesta B is still quite valuable here. This is a good strike. MSN! Sneak up the rest. No, the space. There's just too many. For a moment there, it looked like it was going to start crumbling, but he couldn't get rid of the core composite. 5 Nesta Bs left. And that just reeks of death for the remaining crossbows. Yeah, he's in a death spiral now. But wait. They're a pay-to-win Civ. Oh my...
Jin, for the first time ever in tournament play, is winning.
It has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that Myriad just seems to be the much better player. Already 2 games up, about to make it a 3-0. It's everything to do with the Civ. This is why you should buy Jin Dynasty. Round of applause, everyone. Men-at-Arms strats are back. Nesta B strats are back. It's China, but it's not. It's so much better. S map for the win. And a win for the Jin. And 2 Clack, 2 TC Castle build lost to this. Everyone should buy Jin Dynasty because for most of you, you're probably playing in lobbies where people want to do 2T strats anyway, so you get to do a 2TC strat, and then you just win because of a contract. It's big brain. And if the game goes 2 hours plus long, you're the best landmark in the game. Have I sold you on buying Jin? Microsoft should give me money for this. They don't even give you discount codes. I don't know what they're doing with creators. They don't love us. Anyway, final flurry coming in. GG gonna come through. We're just gonna fast forward to the end. And 07s for MSN. The first player in a tournament that I've seen lose to Jin. I think that's the way you want to be remembered. But Jin done it! They won a game! It's probably the only one that they're gonna win, though. Probably the only one. Pay, then pray to win. No, we're gonna like that. Pray to win is a great name for a Civ that has like, oh, we should have had a video on Tuklak when it first came out with that name. That would have been perfect. That would have been so good, right? Damn, missed opportunity. All right, one sec. Let me put this one in. What do we call that one? I've just called that perfect pay-to-win Civ for average elo. Pay to Jin. So many good ones here. If only they were really pay to win. All right, so I think there was another show match between SAS and Voldemar, but I think Voldemar's data is closed off, and if I'm not mistaken, SAS played a bunch of other games, so his aren't viewable. Which headset is this? That one? Oh, this is like Shaw sent me this. Although I don't know, it's a bit wonky. Like this ear keeps going out. I need a new headset. In fact, I need to. Let me message my Logitech person. There we go. Good reminder. I messaged my person. Yeah, I'm bumping my Logitech person. I'm like, actually, I want an A50. Let's see if we can get them to send me an A50 out. All right, let me check Sass's game history. because I don't know if that Showmatch is still viewable. Zas Voldemar, part of it's viewable. All right, we can check out 2 of the games from it. We can do another Snake River. Jin versus Shushi. Damn, this game's making me want to install Black Ops. Fire Lancers that were given to you in the campaign, just that's the best campaign. Yeah, I kind of used them a little bit. But you know what was super OP? Like, actually, no, okay. Like, my take... my take on that campaign, by the way... One sec, let me check we've got... Let's do this quick. Wink. Alright, we should be good to go, I think. So my take on the campaign, goods and bads. I think the Yufei campaign, the thing they got right is condensing the time period tight enough that I could actually kind of give a crap about characters, because I think that's one of the sucky points about practically like every campaign's attempt so far is you don't care. You know what I mean? Like, you just get to the point where it's like, and we're 100 years ahead. We can't character build. It sucks. The best RTSs I've ever played in my life, you character build. You journey with the characters, you know? So they learned there. Negatives, it doesn't really teach you Jin or China. It sits somewhere in the middle that just is very confusing as an entry point for any new players. Doesn't make sense. Difficulty curve. I felt like halfway through the campaign proposed the most difficult point, and especially the last 2 missions were a bit... They felt like missions that belonged halfway through the campaign. Did anyone else have that, where it's like, it doesn't align correctly? I think the final 2 missions should have been drastically harder than they actually were. And there was, I think, like, mission 4 or 5 probably should have been a bit more chill for the average player. I was fine with it, but, like, if you're sitting down, you're just trying to relax and play a game, you're probably like, oh, that was a bit... We just went from easy to hard straight away. Feels like a separate civ? Exactly. And I just don't think that's a great idea. Like, the problem with designing a civ in a way that, like, it plays differently than how it does in multiplayer is you've just amplified the exact problem that anyone trying to get into AoE 4 and picking up the base game already has for those campaigns. Because the base campaigns are brutally terrible for teaching you Age of Empires 4. They will teach you about buildings that do not exist. They will teach you about units that do not function the way they function. Like, honestly, I think there needs to be a justification of the base campaign having an overhaul. Because I don't know how any player comes in and starts playing the game in 2026, uses that as their beginning point, and then doesn't feel lost when they switch to multiplayer. So yeah, I don't know. I would have just liked to have seen them focus on, if I'm playing China, I'm playing China, or if I'm playing, like, Jin, I'm playing Jin, you know? Anyway, Jin in this game, Sass is going for a great pasture game, which means this is going to be aggro-based. Shushi on the other side is doing Shannan, which means this is going to be aggro-based. Fight! Test your might. Dun, 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 dun. What do you think, guys? Is Shushi going to clap Jin in feudal aggro? I think they have good answers, no? Because if you both scale cavalry, they get attack speed buffer and just kind of middle finger you. They also add in Power Scar, which is really annoying for your horseback cavalry, horseback archers. I treat campaign as an intro experience to see if the game sticks to the person or not. Yeah. But, like, the thing, like I said, that's the thing I like with the campaign. They done right by focusing around Yufei and the generals that assisted him. The only thing I'd say I would have done different, I think maybe next time I'd like to see them try and shift away from focusing just on these narrated splash screen intros and instead do what RTSs used to do, which is in-game cutscenes where they're talking. Because they had that, but, like, I almost want to have that moment of just, like, guy here is talking to guy here, you know what I mean? And telling you something zoomed in. So they're getting there. I think, like, they've improved those areas of the campaign for sure. Start with the campaigns. I thought they were a great intro for the first RTS. The minor details matter less for new players. Man at Farms, when did you play those campaigns? Because that's what I'm getting at. That's another area that outdated. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I haven't tried playing them recently, but like if you think about all the changes they made over the years to just those civs and whatever, it's going to feel drastically different. Remember correctly, they didn't even change the Lancer to Kesh to the Mongol campaign. There you go. So that's what I mean. It's like, it basically needs a spring cleaning update to align. Chop out the silly stuff like Arsenal doesn't even exist in the game now. But like even the more subtle things. Like we literally just came off the back of a Pro Scouts meta. Imagine you learning to Pro Scouts in the Roost campaign and then trying to pick up a boar in your like 1v1 game, right? Like the AoE4 campaigns a lot when I got the game last year. It was like old History Channel. Did you not struggle to convert across to multiplayer? I think all the campaigns are fine to new players except the Jin one. Well, I think all the base campaigns are designed around new player introduction more than anything, right? Which is why I'd like to see them get updated. I did land in Bronze 3. There you go. You got better. Yeah, but like, did you feel a bit ambushed by things not working the way they're meant to? By the way, in this game, Horseman, 100% the way to go for Voldy. Jin don't really do Spimmin that early from what I've seen. New players not really struggle to change from Arsenal to Blacksmith. I think it's just the idea that it's probably setting you up to fail with small differences. And it doesn't feel like that hard of a thing to change. Remember, anti-sieging campaign, that would be the big one on my mind. Is like, if you learn Springolds are like how they were at the launch in the campaign, you probably try and cheese for the levels of Springolds and then feel like crap when you play multiplayer. You know? Jin doesn't seem to be able to do anything early. The coolest idea I've seen was Creator, who... Did you guys remember that game we cast? It was a really quick game. He built this, the machine workshop, next to an enemy base, and then built a ram out of it. I thought that was very, very creative. That's what I'd expect out of a guy called Creator. But even that wasn't good enough, you know? So Sasach going Raw Pagoda makes a lot of sense, but the problem now, yeah, just spam spears. But the thing that I don't like about this for Sass, the scary part, okay, that's cool. I was going to say he's going to be forced to go archers, and his horseback archers are going to get counterplayed by horsemen. Spearman is an interesting idea. The only worry I would say I have is your economy is worse than Shu Shi's, right? And also, it looks like Shu Shi's going crazy, which is going to give him the food inject. The scary part about playing this way is like at the moment, Sass looks like he's got a competent strat coming together. But we're starting to see Voldemar escalating the resources necessary to spawn units out of the Jiangnan. So he's got it set up to spawn him 7 extra units for free after he produces about another 5 or 6 more. The detail things in campaign does not stick too long when going multiplayer. Okay. I think, like, for me, I'm looking from the perspective of, like, how easily people get rubbed the wrong way by games in general nowadays. So I could see that annoying people. Because, like, I think if you're talking in a landscape 10 years ago where you don't have many game options, I'm with you. But the problem is, nowadays, there's a trillion games launching. And yes, I know they're not all RTS, but my point is, like, people are, I think, a lot more fussy with their game choices now than they were 10 years ago. A lot more fussy. No, not even the game journalist experience. I'm talking like on an individual level of your experience. If something's clunky or doesn't work right, you're more likely to flip the table and just go pick up the other game because you can, you know? Whereas like in the early days of gaming, if something's clunky, you had a bit more patience for the devs to get it right because it's like there wasn't 5 copycat clones of it, you know? It's like I was explaining this to the developers of that Engineful game we tested the other day. And the way I described it is like you kind of need to wait for a moment where Rust has a downturn of sucking and then you want to launch. Right? That's a big part of why Arc Raiders work so well, actually. Is like their launch came at a point where trust in Escape from Tarkov was like an all-time low. Because you have to get your audience from somewhere, right? And sadly, in the world we live in, it's quite often easier to point at someone else and say why they're failing than do good yourself. All right, guys, I'm going to say something's going to make you cringe. Bed crossbow time. They're still going to do it. They still haven't... I don't know, man. Bed crossbows just still feel clunky. I don't know if they just didn't fix in the campaign, but when I was playing for the campaign, I just didn't feel like they'd done anything. The damage felt really underwhelming. Like, I know they increased the hitbox size. If that did get applied to the campaign, they're definitely still not good enough. And this doesn't feel good enough, man. Murder Tribesman should be good enough to snipe out the spears, but it's just so much extra micro required. Well, Voldemort can just, like, give himself high fives while A-clicking into you. I'm also a little bit worried Sass is giving a lot of ground right now. Remember, the problem with horse archer strats is they only work if you're attacking. The moment you're defending, they suck. Because you can't keep running away and kiting. If you're kiting, then your villagers are probably front line. Right? That's the difference between positions when it comes to cav archer. I'm bought off by big games. If I... Which big games are buying me off? I wish I... You know, like, dude, my integrity is for sale. Anyone want to get in touch? What kind of money we talking? Like, you know, yeah, Play on. Deep Silver. Ring me about Dawn of War 4. I'll make you all into Dawn of War 4 fans. For the right price. Ooh, Sass. We just mentioned how horse archers suck for defending. This is a good idea. More racks is being prepped, ironically, though. Yeah, I'm surprised he's just bloating this many spears, actually, considering he saw a lot of these horse archers coming out. Should I aim higher, GTA 6 or something? Bro, I switched, like, to a game that's not an RTS, and you're all like, when is he coming back to playing AoE? Like, come on, let's be real. Dawn of War 4 is already a stretch for being a sci-fi game. Most of you can be like, alright, where are my swords and my bows? I wonder if you could bait him in for like a demo ship play. That could be pretty sick, but you need enough fishing for your opponent to feel like he has to get rid of this. Flash coming in. Oh, the pagodas. The poor Godas. 1.5 seconds for 16 damage on a Cavian, a heavy Cavian. Oh, man, you must be heavily brain damaged. These guys aren't, they're not that impressive. The thing with pagodas is it feels like a worse Tortugud. Anyone else there with me on that? he agrees. Jin Dynasty. Ladies and gentlemen, we just had a win. You get one. We're back to losses. Yeah, I don't know. Pagodas stat-wise, they're like slightly higher DPS than Tortugud, but like less tanky, right? They're very weird. Was that a little Ezra, I see? Oh, a sec. So we can check out another new map. We can check out Fangs. Yes. This adorable mother ducker. Hold on a sec. I'll load the game, then get him. Go get you shilling industrial products from random Chinese factories. Oh, dude. Yeah, like the cheap mouses, but they pay you stupid money because they only cost them $2 to make because they made it with hemp. And oh, Ez. And fingers go straight in mouth. Say hello. You. Your hair's too blonde, mate. It's disappearing. What are you doing? You should wake up. Coming in food or something.
Yeah.
I think he literally just woke up. Say hello. No? Alright. I'm gonna take him outside. One sec, guys. All right. But anything other than Spearman before Imper's Jin is an instant loss? It's kind of sad. I don't know. That it's like we just came off the back of like an Archer meta, and then we were in a Knight meta, and then it just you'd think like I can kind of see where they come from. Like maybe now is the time they could get away with dropping it, and it wouldn't just like kill them as their existent Civ to not have archers. But like it's not true. It's not that you have to build archers to counter someone. It's like the value point of being able to is what matters. That makes sense to you guys? Like the fact you could, that threat point is what matters. It's like you would change the way you'd operate around French as a Civ if they no longer could build French knights in feudal age. You know what I mean? So just the implied logic that you cannot have archers is overwhelmingly painful for Jim. All right, let's get ready to go anyway. What and all, it is time for a brand spanking new map in competitive Age of Empires 4. Welcome to Fangs. That's right, vampire time here, and we've got Voldemort in the electric pink, playing as French, going up against Sass on the House of Elves. Lancaster back into pro play, folks, on this brand spanking new map. So what does this map do different? Big fat tree lines around the mountains. Stealth forest to make it a little bit ambiguous if you want to go for there. And you're going to have to move towards the center of the map anyway because you have very limited wood access, very limited safe resources. This kind of reminds me of Borderlands, actually. It feels a lot like Borderlands in your requirement to play forward of your initial holdings fairly fast. In fact, I'd say on this map, even faster. Did Lancaster receive buffs this patch? I think there was some maybe one or two slight tweaks. I'm wondering what Sass is going to do this game because we saw it build recently from B on LAN, and it was insanely effective. It was the 2TC build. I was impressed just how good it was. So kind of hoping we get to see it here. And what's up, Kivayu? Thank you very much for the sub, buddy. Shout out to the man who made the map himself. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, we probably should just call this map Nipples. Do I need to bring back, like, certain brands into the scene for show matches? Won't have to make a map called Stiff anymore. We'll just have Nips. No one wants the Wolf Den Gold, I guess? Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, because they changed Wolf Den, didn't they? But, like, if you think about it, Lancaster could make this play, French won't. But I think if Lancaster makes this play, they're more at risk now because you have to kill the wolves. Those that don't know, it used to be you got all the gold by burning down the wolf den. Now you can see they've changed it so that you kill the wolves as well to get resources. So very big alteration there, actually. I think that's just why players aren't really sure how to gauge it at the moment. And also, it's fairly far to the side on the map, right? It's not like you play for the burn and then push into your opponent's gold easily. Wait, you're right. What happened to Sacred Site? All right, you know, they should have trolled. They should have actually put the Sacred Site in the middle of this, and then it really would have looked like Nips. Competitively ready maps, guys. What are they? Dude, look, okay, I just don't get it. Because, like, sometimes the developers release a map, and the logic is like, well, this map wasn't meant to be for pro play anyway. This map looks like it was kind of meant to be. That's a pretty big flaw in the way it spawns. And it's European tech. It's not like it's a crazy... Like, guys, this is the most common biome in the game. And it has screwed the spawn up. And the sad reality is neither player is going to notice that until we're deep in the game where it might matter, where you're looking for a Sacred Site victory. But guys, it's going to be 2TC. Okay, this is exciting. I think this is the best build Lancaster actually has now. And I feel disgusted to say that out loud because some of you are going to take that to heart now. And the villagers. Ooh, great body block there from Sass. However, what about these guys? That's what you get, you greed. No, 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 Voldemort! Wear some glasses, you short-sighted fool! Kill him! Kill him! Get both. He comes south for the second. He's got the second knight coming in, actually. That's perfect. Gets the snipe. Nicely done. Okay, so -2. Just needs to get out now. I think he's... No, he's going to lose both. Missy. Oh, wait, that means thanks. And after that noise, that's a bit weird. Double knight loss is pretty gruesome there. That's brutal, man. I thought Sass, like, that didn't look valuable for Sass until the 2 knight kills at the end. -2 knights now when your opponent goes 2 TC. Like, you have literally got no one ready to die because the rest of them are securing the ball right now. Yeah, because I don't know. At first, I was like, is it greedy for Sass to go for the mana? I think it's usually okay. I think on like a normal map against French, there's potential for you to go spim and opening in Dark Age. So like you're more delayed later getting this TC timing, but you're more secure. We will be able to start getting spears now. Now, when we saw this matchup from B, because I think it was this exact matchup, he done something very interesting, which is he strategized around like mass outposts. Actually, I think it might have been against Ottomans. He mass outposted to defend. I don't think that's the way you go against French. I think you're going to be more reliant on spears. Because it's just a more natural counter. Like, your opponent's going to invest mainly just in knights. And thank you, buddy. Ezra just handed me a Red Bull. That adorable little ducker. Okay, thank you. I don't need another one. Stop trying to give Daddy a heart attack. One's enough, thank you. It's going to have another one now. Boy, resource to kill 2 villages that now produce at 2x rate. Yeah, like, it's not a great trade for Valdemar. If they got away, though, like, that's the, like, the thin thread of it, right? Like, one less flurry of arrows, he gets out. That's going to be regen on both of them eventually from Chivalry. Nate, I don't need more Red Bull. I've got 4 in front of me now. Okay, so wait, he's going Hobbler? Oh, he thinks it's an Archer transition. Thanks, buddy. Another Red Bull. He's always giving me melons as well. What's with babies being obsessed with melons? I need a badumps. Thank you. Guys, this is like in front of me right now. Like... Nice snipe, bitch. I don't know. Like, you can see Sass was expecting someone else he's just not getting. Because, like, he could have been prepping archers now instead of hobblars, which is nice against knights because you can just kind of, like, trim at them, right? Poke them down a little bit. He's running out of Red Bull to give me. That's good. This most adorable thing. You guys can't hear it because I've got, like, insulation for the mic. But every time he turns around and gives me one, he goes... Because he can't speak properly yet. He has all these cute, specific noises. Another spinner going down. This is rough. Oh, man. And these times, the knights will get... Thank you, buddy. The knights will get away. He's almost out. Chivalry's coming in as well, so Valdemar, perfect time for that now with the injuries. Sass, where's the eco lead? Like, what happened here? He's only lost 2 villages. Shouldn't he be further ahead? Well, it's French TC, right? So it produces quicker to begin with. I wonder if there has been... Oh, yeah, dude, look at the idle time. 54 seconds. Oh, Mummy's come to stop his Red Bull assistant. Thank you, Mummy. He was getting efficient, actually. Instead of passing me 1, Ezra started picking up 2. All right, Hobblar's still trying to be a little bit annoying, but kind of irrelevant. And look at the timing now. It's almost 20 spears. Now Valdemar switches archers. But if Sass doesn't scout that, with the scale of economy now, the archer count's going to come in really fast. Oh my god, I had a heart attack. I knocked over Red Bull count. I was like, no! I was like, oh wait, it's one of the several that haven't been opened yet. Yeah, Sass used to always be that kind of player that would come in chat when you're like, wait, has he missed villager production? He's like, it's really easy to figure out how many villages it is. It's like 24 minutes in the game, so like just 24 times 3, and then you can tell the villager count so you can see just how many villages he should actually have. I bet he wishes that I struggle that much with maths now, because instead we get to see it in full light. I mean, it is a pretty important difference, especially when you're trying to switch into Yeoman now. And also Yeoman when you're trying to probably set up farms, I imagine. The archers have still not been revealed. Yeah, Valdemar getting the appropriate setup. Secretly, actually. Archers just holding where the ball's at. Knights just keep dragging around. I mean, you could run all the way north and then bring in the archer wave, funnily enough. We have got Lord scaling, so that's giving Sass a bit more power combatant-wise with the increased health. Let's all go get some Red Bull off the stream, fellas. There you go. The subtle advertising is working. I wasn't even trying. He still doesn't know. Undermesh prep by Sass? You think he knows? Yeah, actually, I mean, yeah, why else do you get Undermesh? But, like, I guess the thought process for Sass is it's too late to use Hobbler against this many knights. The alternative is, what I thought it might be is he's getting ready to attack across map. So you get Undermesh ready to start diving in defenses, right? Because like if you think your opponent's only doing knights and you do raw spearmen, you should have enough spearmen eventually on 2TC to defend and attack, is the idea, right? I've got Beal hooks coming too. Here we go, archer reveal. Sass gets the bad news. 19 archers to 6 Yos. Bottom up, just kind of keeps trying to bait him in. Archers. Making it a worthwhile exchange so far, even with that extra HP that Sass has. He don't even need to dive, just go castle and get relics. It's better to do this though. Just like you have range advantage. In feudal, when you have range advantage, you get to trade better. It's just how it works. When you both step up, you're going to kill more, always, right? Now, once Sass gets to, say, 20 yeomen, I'd agree. Then you start thinking castle looks a lot better. But for now, it's a great idea. It just guarantees your opponent can't tech instead. He has to waste more time doing this. And what are you doing in the end? Yes, you're losing archers, but you're scaling knights. And the knights are the valuable thing when you eventually go castle. They're already valuable in feudal. But they don't get less valuable the next stage up. Yeah, he did take the spear tech. But, like, he's not getting to touch anything is the problem. Bill hooks only works if you're able to hit. Okay, he hit one. Bit greedy from Voldemar there. The funny thing is, like, the extra health kind of makes it okay for the target fire from the archers, too. Because you're not going to overkill at all. And the reason that's not a bad thing for Voldemar is otherwise an A-click is worse here because the Lords will keep absorbing hits. So, Voldemar, this would be the stage where, like, Castle Age actually isn't a terrible idea. You're at 20 knights, your opponent's spear count has been half. He's building more yeomen. Not sure if I like the idea of continued aggression here, but maybe he feels like he's doing good enough trades that he can just A-click soon. He gets the spear count just a little bit lower, actually. I think his knights need to be a bit more risque in their positioning is the problem. And there you go. Yep, gets it. Goes for it. Baits him out. Surrounds him. Concave effect here. Voldemar a bit weak on the northern flank, though. Lord's starting to get sniped out. Knights are microing away, so injured one's trying to survive a little bit longer. Yeoman trying to finish them off, though. Getting those final touches. And a bit of missed micro there. He actually pulled away full HP Knight, so instead Voldemar drops the ball. Loses, I'd say, probably like 3 more Knights than maybe necessary there. But both armies have been heavily shrunk. The spear count is now gone. But with the health bars as they are, Voldemar decides he needs time to heal. That's a bit crazy, actually. I thought he'd keep pushing. I guess, like, for him, he's like, okay, yes, he's got a better economy, but the damage is so big, I don't need to go right now, you know? Also, yeah, in fairness, it's Yeoman. Yeoman move quicker, so they're harder to actually surround. I think that's, I would say a lot of people have this kind of muscle memory vibe of Yeoman. You guys remember Release Yeoman and how easily they would get away from everything? I think that's on people's minds still to this day a lot. People had too many experiences early on with that happening that they don't want to risk anymore. Because he could have got like a follow-up lance charge and probably killed like 5-6 yeomen, but it might have cost him 2 more knights. It's just not worth it at that point. So secure on the ball here, holding a lot of gold. He could sell across and think about castle now. Sass. Ooh, that's dangerous. Fold him up. It's even more dangerous than that. Hello. Does realize. Pulls away. What's dangerous about this is only 7 spears. Voldemar is fully healed. Well, mostly healed. This is the go. Sass. He took the bait. Charge in. Min-range impact, maximum damage coming through there. Voldemar gets the sweep up he needs. And now, if he just commits, he can catch Sass building into Castle Age. Oh, no. And Sass, yeah, he's just trying to bait A-clicks here. Cool idea. He splits a few yeomen so that if Voldemar's using A-click right now, he'll grief himself. Because he needs every second he can get. White tower placement, where we, like, I mean, if it's not here, is it worth it, right? I don't know if we'll get it there either. Voldemar now with the push in. Sass might just have to set it up in the corner of safety. The villagers, though, no, he's chasing after it. Textile's getting prepped. A good idea by Sass, one that he's most definitely going to need. -4 workers already. More to follow. Knights pull back towards the archer force. Few spearmen there are. Going to start to get sniped down here. Voldemar, A-clicks deeper. Knights have got the power to pound on through here. They can start rippling onto the worker force. The short bows come out. Sass in desperation mode. Needs anything and everything he can get to hold. And the villager count. Look at the worker count. So much for an economy lead. It's looking like a 21st century British economy. Voldemar about to have the worker lead. He charges across. The textiles is doing little to negate the losses. And there's just no room in this inn. Garrison safety just ain't a thing. Voldemar still with 14 knights. And now a 10 worker lead. He can do what he wants with this game. And the white tower's coming now. He ran all the way north for it? Oh, God. Well, I mean, it'll go up. It will secure an 8k. There is a growing concern now that, yep, Voldemar's going to mirror the tech and might just dive the base again. That's a ballsy play. It's like the only play. Because where is he going to... He's going to build it here. That's the worst white tower in the world, right? Might as well just build it here for the memes at that point. Because if he built it here, he would have died on the dive. He builds it down here. You don't really need stone. There's no way he could have built it, basically, in his base. So, he made the right call moving north, but it comes at a cost. Because now the follow-up is the same logic if when a Macedonian player drops a Golden Horn Tower on his food, for example, which they always do, the gold isn't safe, so you just dive the gold, right? Now I'm marching again. Voldemar, after hearing the tech up, doesn't want to wait around. Monastery, good idea. I mean, the farms that they can operate is final. Gold would be the threat point. Sass has such a commanding lead with the 8k under that white tower. Voldemar's just gathering from an 8k with no pressure. I get your point, but like, it's like seeing the trees through the forest or whatever the saying is. This is useful. This is problematic. Right? His economy isn't actually protected. You're memeing? No, we're going to treat it like a serious. This is why you must use Kappas. Why is he Earlsguarding now? I guess like Earlsguard plus spears, if you're up against archers, makes sense. I'm a bit worried Knight just headbutts this though. Everything you said will be used against you. Well, like, it goes both ways. You do it to me all the time. It's the dynamics of the relationship. Guys, wait, I just realized something that's even more depressing. So we secured an 8k, and now we're going to secure relics. Have you guys noticed where all the relics are? This map spawns are so bad. There's no sacred site on the north side, and there was only one relic. Look, relic, 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 relic. There's 6 relics on this map. 4 of them are on the south side. Oh, no. Get me out. That's what happens when you 50-50 coin flip. All right, guys. This is fixable. He just needs to Berkshire the south side. 6 relics, 4 is 5. No, this spawn seems to have 6. He's got 1 banked already, and then there is the 5 on the south side, right? Might just be another bug, though. I don't know. I mean, is there many things that go more obviously hand in hand than new maps released by the devs and bugs? I don't know. Look at that auto time. 4 to 19. I mean, in fairness, he was being constantly dove, but yeah. Yeah, if he can just get 1 more second in there, that'd be perfect. Voldemar just got the guild hall going, right? He just pulled 1,000 stone. He's probably going to drop the castle at home to be safe and get discounts, but I'd love to see him do that. Yes! Oh, I thought he'd actually be dropping the first one a bit safer, but no. No, he's going for it. It's not quite the signature castle in his town center range, but we'll take it. He's actively mining the stone? Yeah, but he's mining it back here as well. So, like, the rate he was going, his position... Like, look, he literally had room for a castle here as well. Why is he keeping the knights back? There's only 3 spears. Because these guys, look, they have daggers, okay? Daggers get between all the folds of your armor, and that's really what kills you on the battlefield. Don't forget. Okay, so what have we got here? Got a second relic coming in yet? Nope. It's just going to be 5 relics for Voldemar, isn't it? And then Guildhall presumably is on food. Yarp. All right, I predict a red palace next to this castle in like 5 minutes. Voldemar transitioning farms. I should have a few coming in, right? With French, you'd like do small farm clusters a lot of the time. You don't necessarily like always just rush mass farms like other civs. And oh god, not again. No, don't shortbow them. Don't do it. Sass is racist to the English. That's all this can be. Why would you ever man them like that? Why would you ever convince them that they could fight? God, this is like me trying to incite a rebellion of gerbils against cats. Like, you guys can take him. You got this. No. More workers going down. Not going to be a dive on the white tower, at least. I mean, we're already gathering stone for more castles. Trebs to follow. I don't know, man. This game looks pretty cooked to me. Castle at home. So there's the discount keep we were talking about. Are they not allowed to surrender? Well, historically, you know, him being on the English and them being on the French, I mean, you know, it's probably what he's holding out for at this point. But maybe he'll just give in. Also, I think Sass is like half on the hopium because if from the tournament series that I've seen between these two in recent memory, Voldemar has just basically been using Sass as like a human toilet. It is not like it's become a little bit of a beef set because of like the drama around coaching, right? But I remember like the results between these two was Ishi ay caramba. Is like I remember back in the KPMs like, oh, here we go, man. Voldemar versus Sass. Ooh, everyone's like hyped for it. And then Voldemar like 3-0'd him. Was like, oh, damn. And then the last few matchups that I've seen at least, Voldemar has bing like 3-0 or 3-1-ing, if I'm not mistaken. So Sass is like, dude, I've got to... It's like it's got to turn around at some point, man. Sass was winning and then he went out for nothing? What, here? Was he winning? What, like, because it hit on villages, yeah. I guess, like, maybe he was trying to do it to get flank control? Oh, much earlier. Before castle. Oh, yeah, you mean when the dive came in and it felt like Voldemar didn't push more than he maybe could have with the knights versus archers, because archers are tricky to get. And then he pushed out. You're talking about that, right? But, like, I understand the thought process there is that Voldemar's walked away with, like, 14 knights and wiped out the spears. So he'll either play, like, flank rotation or tech, maybe, right? But, like, that's the situation where just having a stables and building a scout is invaluable. And he did have a stables, actually. Like, he built Hobbler super early and then didn't scale them. So that maybe is, like, in hindsight, the thing that would have been nice for Sass is just a vision checker in that moment. What counts the knights? More knights. And the Red Palace is coming in. Dude, this is... And wait, what? No. Voldemar, drop the Red Palace here. Just Dude, it's a one sacred site. Oh, wait, no, sorry. It's two sacred site. My mistake. I keep forgetting there's one in the middle. I mean, but build a castle down here. Come on. So he's locked in on the 8K. You know what's better than the white tower and an 8K? Red palace. No, wait. Is he gonna... No, no, no. They see you. They have eyeballs. They have eyes. Oh, okay. I think that's pretty convincing. The weird part about this is, like, it's hard, but if Sass just sneaks villagers up here, he's got a white tower to secure the tree line in the north anyway, you know? So, and your opponent keeps checking this area. Just kind of feels like definition of insanity at the moment, right? Like, I get it. If you have a castle up here, it's a lot easier to secure north side than gambling on going up with small clusters of workers, but at this stage, like, the attempts to just come out to these closer tree lines is just killing him. Voldemort, I mean, he could just think about a cannon now. Like, now that he's seeing castle drops, his fort castle's going to go down. I'm not even really sure it's worth trying to hold it much longer here, but we'll see. Trip Trebuchet, and... Okay, I don't know if that's a bait wall or... Knights go in. Archer shot to the backside. The volley decent, but not great. A few archers going down, a lot heavily injured, but just enough health to hold on. Hurts the extra 10 from leading up. Remember, with elite archers, I mean, the DPS potential here, if he starts prepping towards the incendiary, that's just going to be curtains on its own. Sass has basically only got Earl's Guard against raw elite knights now. I'm sure it's minimizing the damage the archers do, but knights alone can carry. You guys did sneak in, so they managed to snipe down the trebuchets, but the castle is gone. So Voldemort doesn't really need to hang around anymore. Freya, get them out. Darth Mummy. She literally just had earpods in her ear, looking like a Shrek. Like, she put in, like, that in. You love them. Alright. No. Not right now. So, Sass needs a Barch here, right? And I don't know if he's going to get the space for it. Biology is coming in. So extra health for the Knights in just 15 seconds. At that point, Earl's Guard, no amount of them is going to hold you on, right? No, not with 1,400 constant food from your opponent. And this was the last game of the show match anyway, so I'm not surprised he's just holding on as long as he can. Zoom in on the French archers, they do look fantastic. As a bird, I can appreciate the plumage. Like, you know what? The plumage difference between knights and archers, it reminds me of, like, the tiering of, like, the settlers free Romans, where they got, like, the different amount of feathers on their hats per tier. Time for tears in the eyes of Sass, I think. Villagers have been spotted out here again. The castle should keep him a little bit safe for the moment from the knights, but we have now got cannons coming. We've got incendiary arrows on the way. 4 minutes left on the clock. I mean, really, Voldemort doesn't really need to do anything. He just... Or you could just kill trebuchets to make it even easier. AoE4 TV show like Red versus Blue? What, the Halo thing? I don't know about that. I don't think it has as many widely relatable memes as Halo did. So what does Sass do? With it now being cannons, you can't really drop a Berkshire on a sacred site. The best thing you could try and do is like sneak south to decap. But if he does that, if he sends like 15 Earl's Guard down there, this many knights can break the front of the base. Like it's such a really awkward position. So he goes for the Wing Guard instead. Makes sense. You need mass spears to defend. So I don't really blame him. The Spearman choice has been nerfed time and time again, right? Like, it's still good. But is it, I'm up against 50 archers good? It's also kind of weird. Sass hasn't got that much gold, but he needs to upgrade now Earl's Guard and Spearman. And potentially crossbows. Those things are not cheap. Each one of those techs is 700 gold. And I'm pretty sure, yep, his 8k is down to 1,500. Used to make machinima way back in the day. AoE4 would have been great to do it with. Yeah. I think like I wonder if it would build an audience. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm feeling like, because people are like, oh, it'd be really popular. It's like the reason why Halo worked is because there was a lot of popularity and player base around it as well, right? To push it forward. Don't understand how Sass is still in this game because good manners. He's got 6 of them. It's Voldemort just playing Sacred Site win. Like, there's no need to really rush dive in. I think there's been like 2 points where Voldemort probably could have pressed harder and done even more damage. But yeah, now 2 minutes left on the Sacred Site timer. The fact that your opponent has Unitex and you don't even have Elite Tex is pretty much done, right? He'll just meat blob, 22 spin and queued up. Voldemort just needs to be prepping around the Sacred Site in a second. I don't know if he even checked for walls down there. Front line's broken. Crossbow count non-existent. A lot of spinning and Q. Not a lot living. Wait, did French just out-Agincourt Agincourt? I think they just out-Agincourted Agincourt. Archer's beating Yeoman. GG. There you go. The one honorary, untouchable piece of British versus French history. And Voldemort had to ruin it for Lancaster. Yeesh. Hey, Frey. Yeah, they stay in there, darling. Because you'll lose them. I know what you're like. Good gal. She's putting the earpods back. Okay. Trying to see, have we got anyone playing interesting matches on the ladder? It is King of the Hill, though. One sec. I just need to put all these Red Bull cans in now. Guess we'll 2x.
What's that?
She's obsessed with earpods at the moment, which is annoying because they are expensive and easy to lose. All right, it's time for some legends from the ladder. Myriad on the rise, and BC, just as we thought the Empire was dawning, actually turned up with a pretty decent performance, actually, on the recent LAN. Thought it'd be cool to check in on them ahead of the upcoming tournament here. A ladder matchup on Hill and Dale. English in the green for Beastie, up against Myriad in the red as the Malians. This matchup used to just be ridiculously good for Malians. My instincts tell me it still is. Like, if anything, it just got better. It used to be you could just kind of clap them with just mass javelining, but now you have Sofa as well. And then even if you scale to the later age, you know, the opportunity of, like, having mass men-at-arms versus mass Musafadi or Sofa, also really good for Mali. So we'll have to see what Beast's going to be up to. I'm imagining it's going to be 2TC. Confirmation comes in. He's moved on to Stone already. We're just 2x for the early game, because I think they're, like, 3 minutes into game. And Mansa for Myriad. What I'm curious about is whether he's going to just be doing a standard Fulani or if there's room for a Farimba strat here. Like, Farimba theoretically could be pretty cool. Because with the changes, you now are able to scale into all these great counter options against English. You'll have Musafadi against the men-at-arms. You'll have Javelins against Lombos. You know, Freeborn for just diving any base in general. But I'm imagining we're probably looking at 2TC versus Fulani. So moving down on the deer. Oh, we can get predictions up for this, by the way, as this is live. Look at the spawn, actually. Really good options for Mali. Yeah, AKs in general are nice, but usually the problem is, like, when you get this much clustering of resources, you're worried about things blocking them out. There's so many options flank-wise that aren't being blocked out by external resources, so you can house all the way around them. And he goes straight for the center. little bit gambly because Beastie now has got the king queued. Second TC being dropped. Is that worth it? Just to double house and walk? No, he just revealed that the king's coming. He's like, oh, okay, it's one of those games. I'll walk away. Yeah, so not the best of value. Because you got 99 over here, he just ends up getting 54. A little bit underwhelming. But we can start to slow down a little bit. Sofa production has begun. I imagine you go like double Warrior Scout, free Sofa, and then you can snipe the king, right? Because the movement speed is comparative. You've got slightly more, in fact. In fact, I don't know why this map is lagging. Let's try the 2x speed again a bit. Anyone else notice bad performance in AoE4 with the recent update? Or since the expansion, even? I swear it's got a little bit of poke coming in. More sofas are on the way. Remember, BC's just doing fast castle. It's the standard English build. So 2TC, fast castle, bread and butter of this Civ for a very long time. Also has been buffed recently, courtesy of the fact that it costs less to build the second TC now. So a bit quicker to come online. Other side of it, it's not Fulani. No, Myriad is massing Sofa, but he needs to get his dive point right. It's going to be very difficult against English 2TC. There's a lot of arrow fire when you're not that tanky. But if you delay it too long and a white tower comes up, you're not getting in. So it might be worth just starting adding a cow for that. Unless, is he going for a Farinda build? Oh, the villager? The villager? Hold up, hold up. Ooh, goes -1. Does at least take the king with him. Spear reaction coming in now from Beastie. No, he's not Farimbering. It's just, I think it's a little bit of a missed macro. Just too much food income. Unamash being prepped. Wall not going to get up here. And the villagers might be in a bit of a tricky situation, actually. The spearman production just began, but it's only one. Oh, what a timing. He had to go pre-undermesh, but absolutely worth it for this hit. He's going to need to reap a few more. Wasting time on the scout is not good. I don't think he got enough out of that, actually. And the TC fire, you see what I mean? As soon as they get in this bad boy, it's rapido. Heavy losses there. Half the sofa going down. A little bit of idle time being caused, but only 4 worker kills. Not entirely worth it. He was at least prepping more cows, so it's not like he was all-inning. Oh, the fast forward was trippy? Yeah, just a little. I mean, we're like 2 minutes away from live, I think. But we're like, when there's not much going on, it's like we speed it up. And it was just trick or raids. White tower coming through now. Honestly, if there was 3 extra sofas still left alive, I think you're probably crapping yourself right now as Beastie doing this. But, you know, considering shrunk the count, got the wall up, Myriad won't be able to stop this. Needs to be careful, actually, because by the time he breaks this wall, the white tower could just about be completing, which means you could end up here when it completes. And that means you're going to lose more sofa because of an unintentional dive. So be a little bit careful. Or BC could just make it easier for you. There you go. Spears. Getting a freebie. Yeah, they're triggering that attack speed aura. And he baits him in. Yeah, he's doing this on purpose. Does realize what's happening, though. Backs away. Tech up complete. Myriad about to mirror. And it looks like we're going to be getting a Fulani game. So we're just 4x. Because Beastie's just going to be prepping Spearman, moving out for relics. Boom. And then Grand Fulani is being prepped. So, like, neither party should be fighting much. You might see Sophus try to step up, but when you really see this many Spearmen, just stay in your lane, you know? Good thing is, he primes the tech timing so that he can actually vet Sofa to try and intercept the relics. So for Beastie, I guess the way you could approach this is just 1 relic at a time with mass spears. And those spears go straight for the pit mine. Okay, this is pretty cool because he can sneak out the back gate and pick up a relic for free. And then he can pick up this one because he's guarding the area. So like counterplay right now, Beastie has the obvious answer. Mira is the one who needs to transition. What's annoying here for Beastie is you can't just like men-at-arms spears against Mass Sofa. Maybe a bit weird. But you want someone to start dealing with archers. The question is, do you want to go back to javelins? Just spears now. It is just your atypical English player, isn't it? So just guard for flanks, so makes sense. Wouldn't mind seeing him rush towards the monastery as well. It's not as much that he needs gold, Mali has plenty of it, it's that you want to stop your opponent getting it. Especially on a map like this, Hillendale is one of those classic examples of fast castle rush relics. Because you don't have much gold on your high ground to play with, so if you get blocked in, there's nowhere to go, there's nothing to do. It is a painful map for that reason. Yeah, like, and devs have done more and more to lean towards punishing that type of style as well. Like, if you turtle on the high ground, you shouldn't have much to work with. Like, you used to, for example, have 2 fat tree lines, then they decreased it to 1 big and 2 small. I can't remember if it was an 8k gold in the high ground at one point. It might have been in the very early days. Poison Arrow is coming through, and it is going to be Men-at-Arms. It was 8k? Yeah, I thought so. I think it was also a 2400 stone as well, if I'm not mistaken. So you could basically go like 7 TC without losing your base. So, ooh, that's an ugly fight. Food income is also worrying me a bit here for Myriad. Beastie's got a nice lead. And I know I said like Men-at-Arms and Spears is a bit clunky, but like you do reach a point, and this is why English do it so often, where because you're focusing on economy, you scale raw to a size where it doesn't matter that you only have melee units, because you'll always have a big enough blob to put. And farm clusters are looking good. BC what? 16 farms deep. Just finished off the deer, so probably could be adding in another farm cluster in the next minute. Has got armor clad coming through. Poison arrows is nice, sure, but like at the same time, you're only going to be doing poison damage into the Men-at-Arms is how this is going to play out. I do wonder if Myriad could have done 2 TC as well, actually. Because that did get buffed in general across the board, and Malians was kind of included in that. I think 2 TC might have been a good shout here. This just looks a little bit awkward right now. Like, I'm just looking at this game thinking, okay, what is Myriad actually scaling for? When you play open maps, you're scaling to rate. But Hillendale is just a toxic map for the tankiness of the defensive position. Right, like, you're not getting in the front of this base with White Tower. Rotating wide takes a long time. Probably going to get seen doing it. You know there's going to be rules in it. Are English good now? I don't think they're good. I think maybe they're a little bit more viable than they were. But this is like map diff. It's the map more than anything. English decent. The food increase is good. Yeah, but that came a while ago, right? You're talking about the extra 5% with Captain Castle, right? I think they benefit a little bit from the more recent patches because of the TC cost change. But honestly, they didn't have a problem with that in the first place. If anything, it's more even the playing field, because for English, you got your TC safely anyway, because short bows plus you get a king, right? Like, they were one of the civs, I'd say, least in need of the TC change for its 53% cheap. But more than anything, it's Hillendale. And like this matchup as well. Like I say, it used to be really rough for English. Like, I kind of wonder why Mirai didn't try scaling Java Spears. What was the negative of doing that? Because that was the way you would deal with this before. Maybe it's the spawn type. He felt like it wouldn't work. But, you know, once again, because we're playing Hillendale, because it's hard to get in that base, Cavalry struggles more. Looks like you got intercepted, no pit mine. Rip. Wait, was that the scout that was sitting there, or just Spears got there quick enough? Philly tries to argue against me and falls off. I was like, yeah, actually, it's the map. Yeah, because like if this was an open map, the Sofa strat works because he just runs the flanks and clubs you from each side. In, out, shake it all the back. And then you bait him to add in way too many spears, and you add in archers, and he doesn't get as quick of a white tower time. then it's really scary. But, you know, 4 tree line, like, that's the other thing. 4 tree line as well, which already just funnels the choke point. Like, imagine the spawn like this. It's a little bit harder for Beastie to just hold, because there's a lot more width to wall up. So maybe the Sofa's getting quicker. Combo mass now. 2. Yeah, because if he was just melee, the point we're making is that he would just get tired and killed gradually. But the whole idea is he'd probably still win because his economy is good enough. But this just makes it easier. Lombos just sniping out the back line. Spears being pulled to try and react to the Sofa. Men-at-Arms holding back the bulk of them. They don't need to win, they just need to not die too quick. And Armorclad guarantees exactly that. It's going to be an erase of the face and a forced retreat. Myriad can't really stand here any longer. Count not that high, Surfer count about in half. And I imagine we are looking at the beginning of a death push. Or Beastie could just play boring English and go Imperial. But honestly, with the lead he just built, there's not much to really stop him attacking for. Now, this is like a reminder of just how toxic the aura is as well. That outpost on the side of this fight is a ridiculous buffer. I'm still a huge fan of the attack speed being an activatable temporary round towers, but there you go. GG. English, still a good pick if you get the most campy maps possible. English good on Hill and Dale? Say it isn't so. How did that happen? Just seeing who else we got playing, actually. Louis. He's doing scrims. Maybe Yo-Yo? Who's Johan playing against? Who is this? Let me have a look. Cast another game before the bad forts come back. Wait, what? The bad forts, what? The English not great civ. So we do that by casting another English game. I mean, in fairness, Kazi Johan, ranked 11th. But it is an open map. Let me check this. Oh, dude, this is a Conk 2 player in yellow. I do not think this will be close game. Damn though, this account. Whew. He was plat in season 10, then he got Conk 1 in season 12. I mean, not bad, but yeah, I don't want it. Let me have a look at ladder. See what we got. God, I'm hot. Not in that way. I mean, just don't feel like there's many. I don't know. I felt this when I opened AoE4 World to look at the accounts and who've been playing. And it just feels like there's less and less accounts active in the top 50, top 100. And of those that are, they're obviously going to have their data privated, right? That was like a big part of why we started hosting weeklies, because it just got to the point as well where it's like there's just nothing. There's like less people like pub stars or whatever that are known, and etc. etc. I was thinking about this the other day, like, man, the amount of people like in the early days were like, oh yeah, this guy, like Nevix, you know, like when Recon was around, you're like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, this guy, that guy, that guy, that guy, like you just, and all the players and the content creators from other games. But now it's just kind of like simmered down, you know what I mean? Remember Drongo came up with an AI that showed him good games for casting. Did he? I can tell you what Drongo's secret recipe was for finding good games. You guys, do you want me to peel back the veneer? I mean, this is a while ago, so he might have updated his solution. But this is what Drongo used to do. So to find good games, what Drongo would do is he would like come on here and be like, you know, open Kill Yardi. And then he would, oh, I can't even check summaries. Okay, let's go May. So like he'd go here and he'd be like, okay. And he'd check this. He'd check like army value. Maybe he'd check total score or something, but I think mainly it was army value. And he would look for games that had a bunch of ups and downs. So like, for example, he would avoid a game that would be like, zoop, just, and then one dip. He'd be looking for one where like there's fights here and then it goes like a heartbeat monitor sort of thing. I don't know if he's changed his method more recently, but like I remember him saying about that. That was how he used to do it. It's like with Johan, I mean, maybe this one, yeah, like that. It's like, oh, that might be an interesting game. My mentality is like different though, which is like, this is not that interesting of a game because they both basically just ecoed for almost 15 minutes, which is a bit boring. But like, if you can find one where you're like, oh yeah, look, wow, dude, this guy really likes Jin. Like, yeah, this is obviously a boring game. I mean, it's only 6 minutes long, but like, if you go here, you're like, that's a boring game because that's a stomp, right? So it's not just the ups and downs, but you want them to be close. Like the bars are close and like they clash and they switch and whatever. Like this is pretty crap too because it's only got one. Like if you're writing a good story, you don't just have one moment that happens and that ends the story, right? You want like uncle dies, okay? Then you have to come back from that and you start to become the superhero that you need to be. And then your best friend betrays you. And then you realize that like his dad is evil and he beats you. And then, but then you come back, you beat you. I'm doing the Spider-Man story, but you get my idea, right? It's like you want a good narrative has like these arcs. So like this might be slightly intriguing because Dumu versus whoever this guy is, he took an initial lead, then lost it, then Dumu had to scrape ahead, and then eventually passed up. But even that, I wouldn't say is an interesting game based on the graph. The sports games for him, so he made an AI filter these based on things like you're describing. Yeah, okay. Like that was the thing I've highlighted before that I always hate, and that's why I prefer live games. It's just you get spoiled all the time. It's very hard with all the different spoiler positions on the UI to not notice. You have to really be consciously trying not to notice. Is the guy right? He hasn't posted in a long while. I think he's probably got stuff he's dealing with. He's probably got other channels he's working on. And the reality is, like, AoE 4 is not in a good position content-wise right now, actually, I'd say. I don't know if anyone's going to try to disagree with that. Like, I'd be intrigued how the disagreement comes. But, like, the most recent expansion, I don't feel like it's been well received. You know, you just had Wall. Now what is there, right? Yeah, and you got like Elite Classics coming up. It's like, yeah, but what is different about this compared to the last three? And then it is a bit of a weird time for AoE 4. I think some people aren't going to like the hyperbole, but in a way, the next DLC is like the make or break point around 4 with Vikings. Because there is so much hype going on around like the value of Vikings being added to the game that if it's not an overwhelming slam dunk, it is a problem. And I'm a bit weary about whether it can be a slam dunk, especially if off the back of this DLC, there's a lot of people that are just not interested, if that makes sense, you know? Because although some people are like, oh yeah, but Vikings will come back for that, there'll be other people's like, okay, nah. And they'll just like move on. The other thing that could be interesting is Dawn of War 4 releases in September, presumably before we will see Vikings release. And I know people are going to argue that like sci-fi, history, different audiences, you can argue that, but also you have to acknowledge the fact that like there was a bunch of people that came across from StarCraft to play Age of Empires on a content and viewership perspective. So end of this year is going to be a very curious one for Age of Empires 4, I think. Oh no, it's not. I'm trying to think what we cast. Oh damn, still got to improve my records. I forgot this was here actually. Love that Harry did a Warcraft 3 invitation tournament a week ago. Hell yeah! I mean, like, dude, I've been quite publicly open about this. I tried to pitch a Age of Empires 4 Creator Invitational. And I even had a bunch of names in mind. And some of them were straight away like, hell yeah, I'd love to do that. But it got rejected. My channel just wasn't big enough for it. Which is a shame. Because, like, I mean, my mindset in there was like, it doesn't matter that my channel's not big enough. My channel's not the whole point. It's the other channels that is the point. Like, if anything, I was going to basically front all of the work to get none of the reward. Because, like, what would have basically happened is you probably would have had, like, a Beastie or Dimu maybe cast the games. And then, obviously, a lot of people watch them by default. But, like, I was like, you know, for the good of the scene. Back then, I was like, for the good of the scene, I'll tank the work. And, you know, my mind was like, yeah, we get people like Sing Sing to come play. We get Bo Combe be another great one to come in and play. Maybe Lyric would be up for actually dedicating some time and trying it. Like, maybe we get some of the Warcraft 3 pros to come play. You know, get a few of the StarCraft 2 pros to now revisit now that maybe things aren't looking as delectable in that scene. But, you know, just wasn't there. I don't know if I'd try and propose it again at this point. In some ways, I feel a bit drained.
I want to actually, like, I mean, I kind of want to do some Deadlock tournament stuff, though.
Which is weird, because I don't really have a Deadlock audience, but... Did anyone catch the most recent tournament for Deadlock? It was messy. Because they just had a huge change to a core objective. And it, like... it is turned into such a clownery. Because basically there's this objective and they've added in a comeback mechanic. And the way that comeback mechanic now works is like... that's another Hill and Dale, I can't be asked. The way that combat mechanic works in Deadlock is like, it is ridiculously stupid because if you're 10% behind on like economy, your team was from this objective until it's captured would be getting 50% damage reduction. And that's a lot, by the way. So like, difference of 10% could be worth 5,000 souls in that game at that point in the session. But in terms of equipment across your team for 50% damage reduction, it's like over 40,000 net worth of protection. So yeah, some of the pros have been very unhappy with that change at the moment. Well, I don't know. What do we do now? What do we do, chat? I need ideas. I could go eat. My food might be lukewarm at this point instead of cold. Could Olden Era. Could Deadlock. I played the AoE4 campaign now. Warcraft 3 casted ladder game. Play ladder? No. Nothing about Hill and Dale. Like, dude, like you haven't even got a good map pool to try and seduce me into playing ladder for the first time. Like, look at this map pool and tell me why I'd want to play ladder. Archipelago, Hill and Dale, Sunken Lands, I think kind of sucks. Wastelands is a bit mean. Give a Hill. Vortex and Luciferon played some practice games. I wonder. It might be viewable. I don't know if this is Vortex's account. Nah, that's not Vortex. Ah. DS Vortex. Has he joined a team? Nah, he's privated. Oh, not a main account? If it's not a main account, it 100% will not be public. Oh, actually, sorry. What was that? I just remembered. Carlo messaged me about something. Vortex and Luciferon versus Wham and Poppy played Sunday on my channel if you want to have a look. Yeah, I didn't even know about this. Why didn't anyone mention? Wish I'd known at the time, Carlo. Would have probably hopped on and... Actually, mate, did you mention them before? No, you mentioned someone to me about in June, I remember. TV2 games? Could do. Could do. Vikings waiting room president. I mean, but we could do 2v2 between Canadian bros and Spanish bros. Maybe. I don't know. Do people want 2v2s? Oh, wait. It's going to break my whole UI, isn't it? They haven't done a capture age team yet, have they? Still. I'm not set up for this. Oh, they're using a UI. Look, it says a good UI. Yeah, no, that's... It's really hot today, and I don't know if I can be asked to, like... Why is the map a different... Guys, look at the map. Why is the map? Look at the map size. Why is it... Why is that actually a thing, chat? What? It's like a few millimeters over to the wrong side. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. I don't know. I was weighing up finally playing some AoE 4. But I just don't feel like it right now. I think this expansion didn't really get me in the mood for it, you know? And I imagine I'm not alone in that. The campaign was aight. I don't think it's overly memorable. I think the thing for me actually is like playing that campaign, the number one takeaway is I couldn't help but feel like, damn, I wish we had 3 Kingdoms. Now, that might just be my bias because I really like the Dynasty Warriors games. And the sad part that struck me is like, we'll probably never get the 3 Kingdoms in Age of Empires 4 because of the very mixed negative reception in Age of Empires 2. Right? Like that, I think it'd be fair to say that the 3 Kingdoms DLC didn't have that much positivity around it from what I saw. And even now, actually, like, for those who don't know, basically with the 3 Kingdoms, it's like Wu, Wei, Shu, those guys, right? And one of them, I think it's Wu, it's Wu. They have Tiger Cavalry, which is essentially Age of Empires 2's version of Radari in terms of like over-bloated stats on a heavy cav unit that just munches everything. So yeah, and that was it around the same time, chat? I can't remember. Last year they got them, right? So yeah, we both ended up in a similar boat. Alright, I don't know. Do I call it? If I call it, when will I stream next? I was probably going to stream Thursday. One tier for the price of 3? Yeah, I mean, and I said this, it's like the price tag is kind of tricky to get around after you've set the standards elsewhere. What's this new game, Town to City? Oh, it's just a cozy builder game. I was thinking about streaming 007 in the next week or so. Some people have been really liking it. It's kind of weird, though, because I don't know if I'm alone in this. I was kind of expecting something like very replayable, like Hitman, sandboxy. But I don't think that's what they've done with that game. I think it is more like a full linear, one campaign and done type vibe. Okay. I'm Tenken. Yeah, we'll call it. Not the longest stream, but you know, getting back in the swing of things. I don't know. Like I said, I've been feeling a little bit rough. Bunch of tests as well, just not feeling very well at the moment. So just basically trying to get back in the groove, in the rhythm of things. I'd probably say next stream Thursday. Maybe start some Age of Empires 4 and then look into like maybe some Deadlock or something like that afterwards. I'm seeing a little bit 007 looks underwhelming. Interesting. I have good things, but I don't know. Yeah, I think, yeah, we'll call it. I'll find something to raid. YouTube, I'm going to stream now. Next stream, like I said, we'll aim for, it'll either be Thursday or Friday. And then weekend is EGC qualifiers. I haven't been asked to cast, so probably just do it on this channel.